What's up, everybody? It's Saturday night. I'm your host Craig. This is the Anfield Agenda, and you're all very welcome along to what we like to call the late night agenda here. Obviously, because we start quite late. There you go. Name sorted. No problems. How are we? I can see people in the chat. Apologies for the late scheduling of the stream tonight. That was my fault. I forgot to click the button. And whenever there is a problem on the channel, sometimes I like to blame Connor, but you know what? I'll take one for the team tonight and say that it was my fault. Chat's starting to fill up already. Lots for us to get through. It's all about transfers, really, isn't it? From here on in until the Champions League final. As you can see from our daily countdown, there are 14 days to go until the Reds take on Spurs at the Wanda Metropolitano Stadium in Madrid for the right to win the Champions League. Number 6 for us, of course. It will be the first for Spurs, so either way, it's going to be a massive night for English football. I am absolutely pumped for this, ladies and gents. I cannot wait. Like you all in the chat, the sleeps can't come quick enough. It's going to get more difficult to sleep as well as we get closer to the day. Right, let's get into the chat, see how everybody's feeling tonight, see who we've got in. Kyle's in, Aziz is in, Lewis is in, Ted's in, Robert O'Reilly, Boba Fett, Brandon Thomas, Annoying JA Reviews, Andy Robertson, Dave from Dave's LFC chats, Will is in, MJ's in, Stevie Richards, of course, Frankie B, Far Isle, David Jones, Dicky Bow, Will Robinson, Best Buddies, and loads of other people as well that are just coming in now. And how are you? How are you all doing? Did anybody watch the FA Cup final today? Let's be honest about it. Look, I don't want to go on about Manchester City because I don't really care. I'm just genuinely wondering if anybody watched that FA Cup final because I want to have a little talk about it, but it's not actually from the perspective of Manchester City, or it's not from the perspective of Watford. I watched the game today because, there's not much football on, so I said, hey, why not? Treat yourself, Craig, watch the game of football. And something bothered me. Something really, really annoyed me. Start of the game, you're waiting for people to come in. Sometimes there's a couple of empty seats around the stadiums, yada, yada, yada. But the best fucking seats in the house. The best seats in the house. Most of them empty. Right on the halfway line. Right in the best viewing position. Now, as I said, this is not a dig at Manchester City, and this is not a dig at Watford, because I actually think it's got nothing to do with them. I believe that these seats are reserved for sponsors, for dignitaries, for the high-ups in the world, and what the fuck is going on? You've got your showpiece event for the FA, your FA Cup final on television. Manchester City's end look packed, Watford's end look packed, and then you see this section right in the middle, right in the best spot in the stadium, and it's fucking empty, or it's mostly empty. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, think of the amount of kids or people inside that stadium even that would have killed to have been in those seats. The best seats in the house, right in the peak camera position, and it's showing up as empty. How shit does that look for the FA Cup and for the FA? It's ridiculous, like. It's going to get to a point now where people are just getting fed up with the stuff that's going on with corporate stuff. We had the same issues around the Europa League final and around the Champions League final as well. Loads of sponsored tickets, loads of partnership tickets. So what if these fuckers don't show up? What if they just couldn't be arsed like they clearly couldn't be today? Then what happens? We're all sitting there, Manchester City fans, maybe Watford fans that couldn't get tickets for the final, or young kids who'd love to be there and see, be inspired by the football that's taking place. And again, empty seats. It's ridiculous. And in a time where fans are struggling to get to games, to see that many empty corporate seats inside the stadium, shambles. Stevie Richards said they're Club Wembley seats. Well done, Stevie. Thank you for giving me the name, because I didn't know that. But yeah, it's shocking, isn't it? Isn't it just fucking shocking to see that many empty seats? Sarry's a Helmet Smith said empty seats is a shambles. And a few other bits and pieces. I see a lot of people talking about Bournemouth and Lloyd Kelly, and look, ladies and gents, we will get to that in a couple of seconds. Ella's in. Ella, how are you? Thank you for the DM earlier on Twitter, mate. Always glad to hear from you. We're in City's head, said LFC fan. What else have we got? I saw that as well, Craig, said John Aaron, with regards to the seats. At least give them away. Exactly, Sean. Give them away to local football clubs, to young kids, to schools, to charities, whoever. Just don't have the seats empty. There's no way anybody can tell me that they couldn't have found people to fill those seats, or they couldn't have even just let people down into the good seats. It just looks terrible on television. Best seats in the house, and it's horrible. Craig, what top am I wearing? I'm wearing one of the new training tops. Let me just sit up a little bit so you can see. Where is it? Yeah, up this side. The AXA. So it's one of the new AXA training tops. I don't like the AXA part, but I do like the hoodie. It's one of Connor picked it up for me when he was in Dublin at the Liverpool store last week. And then I got another one when I was over in Liverpool, a different hoodie. I'm just trying to get some more Liverpool tops, because in the winter time, with being Ireland and stuff, and I'm on here chatting with you guys, I like to wear jerseys, or I like to try and wear something Liverpool, and sometimes it's just too feckin' cold. So I said, you know what, I'll get myself a couple of Liverpool hoodies, because If you guys know anything about me by now, you'll probably notice that when I have a jumper on, it's always a hoodie. I don't wear sweatshirts, I only wear hoodies because I am a chav. A proud chav, but a chav nonetheless. Liverpool Football Club said the FA Cup dies. David Jones, is Sadio Mane leaving Liverpool? No, my friend, not that I'm aware of. As far as I'm aware, none of the front three are going to go anywhere. And of course, we'll hear stories talking about Real Madrid, and we'll hear stories saying Salah's being linked to this, that, or the other. None of them are going anywhere, my friend, as far as I'm aware. And why would they? At the same time, why would they? I mean, Liverpool are in a great place right now. Again, Salah, Madrid, any thoughts? No, mate, it's just the Spanish papers reaching. Now, there was an article that said that Real Madrid did touch base with Liverpool and inquire over Mohamed Salah, and they were quickly told, nothing happening here, you're not getting him, don't even bother wasting your time. What else we got? Up the Red Man said Alan McAlmont, is it McAlmont, mate? Or McAlmont, excuse me, Alan McAlmont, excuse me. Who wouldn't want Griezmann? This guy. I don't want Antoine Griezmann anywhere near Liverpool Football Club, to be honest, mate. He's too much about Antoine Griezmann. I mean, I don't know if we could have enough documentary makers on standby for Antoine Griezmann as well, to be fair. Typical Man City match, empty seats everywhere. To be fair, Ollie, this time, probably the only time I'm ever going to say this, I don't think that was to do with Manchester City today. I think, as Stephen Richards said and other people said, it was the corporates or Club Wembley or whatever it's called. But either way, it looked shitty. It looked terrible on the television. Aziz said, fans spend their hard-earned money all season to attend games and then get excluded because of corporates and sponsors who can't even be bothered turning up. Well said, my friend. Well said. Sexy hoodie for a sexy man. God, Kieran, you're making me blush here, mate. Jesus, honest to God. Worst FA Cup final, said Liverpool Legends. At least you don't look like a cucumber as usual. Fuck you, Stevie. I love that hoodie. That's my favourite hoodie. That green hoodie you're talking about, that Reebok one, that's my favourite hoodie in the world. I kind of wear that hoodie all the time. I just love it. Barca pulling out the Delit race is good news, said Mickey Friars. Mickey, how are you, mate? I feel like it's been a while. Or maybe I say that to you too often and I just don't notice, mate. Maybe it's my fault. But how are you anyway? I hope you're keeping well. I hope everybody's having a wonderful weekend. 14 days to go until the Champions League final. And how great is it to be able to say that the Reds are in the Champions League final again, back to back. Ted Hutton said, I ate dinner in Anfield today. So good. Did you go to the Boot Room Cafe, Ted, or were you somewhere else? Because I've eaten in the Boot Room before and it is lovely. Really, really recommend it to anyone who's in and around Anfield. What do you think about Wilson, Craig? I think, Lewis, I think he might be moved on, you know, my friend. I think he might be moved on. What I've read is that, again, you don't know what to believe. And please, as I always say, take anything I say with a massive pinch of salt because I'm no oracle in Liverpool transfers. I've no inside knowledge on this. I'm certainly not an ITK. But what I've read is that he's on a list of players who are available to be transferred. Now, I would imagine if Liverpool move on Harry Wilson that they would have a buyback clause in there and they'd be silly not to. We've seen it done before. I think Jordan Ibe had one in there as well when he was released by Liverpool. So if he is sold, I would imagine there'd be a buyback clause in there, or at least a first option clause, because we all know how talented Harry Wilson looks and it would be silly of the club if they were to let him go. And I'd personally rather see him loaned out to a Premier League club. I've tipped Leicester as a really good example. Bournemouth could be another good club for him to go to if Liverpool wanted to loan him out. And originally I thought that Harry Wilson would come in for pre-season training and then Klopp would assess him and then he'd be moved out. So I don't know, mate, but from what I've read, he could well be on a list, as well as Marco Grujic on that list. Somebody put a comment in actually earlier on today, and sometimes I peruse through the comments if I get a chance, and he said, hey Craig, do you know what? Stop fucking talking so much, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like, just get to the fucking point. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I've got a fucking show to do here, mate. Do you know what I mean? From reading out the comments and stuff and people have asked an opinion, I've kind of got to give those opinions. So, well, I always do welcome feedback, and I even turned to my wife and said, can you break this down for me? Am I missing something here? Is my whole job on here not to be fucking talking when 75% of the time I read out the comments? So it's pretty straightforward, but I do welcome feedback. So even you guys that do call me a stupid bald Irish nonce, I welcome that feedback as well, because it lets me know you're a cunt. There you go, nice and simple. Did you hear PSG want Bobby Firmino to link him with Neymar? They can keep wanting. Why would he go there, to be fair? I mean, you could talk money, But I don't think that Bobby's about the money. I think Bobby earns decent money. I think Bobby earns around, is it 200k in his new contract, something like that at Liverpool? Of course, I'm just guessing there. I don't know the exact figures. But why would he go from Klopp to BTEC Klopp and from the best league in the world to a league where PSG won't even be challenged and then will fail in Europe yet again? He's been in 2 Champions League finals in a row at Liverpool. None of our front 3 are going to go anywhere this summer. And if they ever are sold, it's because Kloppo decides, hey, we can move them on and we can replace them. But it won't be this summer. Nothing I've read suggests that Liverpool are going to look to cash in on one of the front 3. Why would we? We're in a good place financially at the minute. The Irish Spirit said, forgot the FA Cup final was on today until I seen the final score. 6-0. People should be ashamed of themselves for wanting City to win everything. It means absolutely fuck all. Yeah, it is. Look, well, it's a shambolic score for a final. I mean, 6-0 is a fucking disgrace in a final. But I don't even know what to say to it. City were better. I mean, that's all we can say. We can talk about how they were funded and all on another day. But today, they just blew Watford away and they beat them 6-0. And there's not really much to say about that. I'm not going to congratulate them. I'm not going to do it. I did it after the league because I thought after such a titanic race and they're winning 14 games in a row that, you know, it would be the right thing to do to congratulate them. And then the song came out. And we know about the song. We don't have to talk about the song anymore. The song's been sung by fans all season. That's different. Fans, banter, there's dickheads in every fan base. We go through all that. But when the players sung it and the club refused to apologise for it and tried to say that, hey, do you know what, guys? It wasn't about this particular fan that was getting beaten up on the streets. It was about all the other fans that were getting beaten up on the streets. So, yeah, you're not getting any fucking congratulations from me. Who I will give congratulations to is Watford, because your fans were absolutely amazing inside Wembley today. Even when your team was 4-5, 6-0 down, the Watford fans were singing, they were making noise, they were proud of Javi Gracia and the boys. So congratulations to Watford and their fans for a tremendous run in the FA Cup and an absolutely amazing atmosphere created and the support of their team. So well done to them. It was good to see, and it kind of restores your faith in fucking humanity and football fans. Not that we really need that restored as Liverpool fans, because we're kind of spoiled with an amazing fan base. Dylan said, Zaha or Depay, I'd like to see one of them take Sturridge's spot when he leaves. It's a very difficult call. I'd probably say Memphis Depay, because I think they're both very good footballers, and Zaha does, I suppose, have the advantage of having Premier League experience. There's a bit of magic in that kid Depay's feet at times. He can pull something out of nowhere. I've always had issues, or questions, I should say. Issues isn't the right word because I don't know him, but I have questions around his attitude or his mindset. And if Jurgen Klopp, I keep saying this, if Jurgen Klopp decides that Memphis Depay is the man for him, then I've no more qualms about his moods or his enthusiasm for the game, because, you know, Jurgen Klopp wouldn't bring somebody in that might destabilise anywhere. So lots to get through. Anyway, some important news to start off tonight about Julian Brandt, or Julian Brandt, if I'm to try and pronounce his name correctly. So Leverkusen have now qualified for next season's Champions League. The Bundesliga finished today and they managed to get in there and get fourth spot. I think it was fourth spot, but they qualified anyway. So the German international had a £21.5 million release clause in his contract, but that was only valid if Bayer Leverkusen failed to qualify for the Champions League, or so I've read from some journalists today. Now, what happens there? What happens with Julian Brandt now? Some people are suggesting that Julian Brandt will stay at Leverkusen and he'll have another season or two there and he'll try and keep progressing. And, you know, it's no secret that it's come out that he kind of fancies the idea of staying in Germany. He was muted as being a target for Borussia Dortmund as well as Liverpool and various other clubs around Europe. But even the Dortmund move now looks to be in some doubt, because if that release clause isn't there anymore, then what is his value? Is there another clause that we don't know about? Is there a number that if they're qualified for the Champions League, then that would get him out of the club? I don't know. But sources seem to suggest... sources, that sounds weird, doesn't it? Makes me sound like a bit of an ITK there. Reports seem to suggest that he might be happy to stay at Leverkusen and, you know, have a run in the Champions League with them next year. What do you guys think about that one? The only good thing that comes from Wolves in the Europa League will be interesting, said Awfully British, and of course Liverpool will be playing Manchester City now in the Charity Shield. I think it's the 4th of August. I'm not sure if that's been 100% confirmed yet, but I think it's the 4th of August. Now, if anybody is thinking of going to the Charity Shield. I looked up earlier on flights from Dublin and I looked up hotel accommodation, and you can get a hotel. I think it was the Ibis, if memory serves. The Ibis at Wembley. You can get a twin room, so if yourself and your mate want to go, £50 fucking pound. £50, get on it. If you're thinking about it, don't hang around. Prices are going to go up. There is lots and lots of cheap accommodation. And the hotel that I'm talking about was, I think, within 400 feet or 400 metres or yards or whatever way it was measured on booking.com, which was the site I looked at, of Wembley. So get yourselves in there, don't fuck about. Hotel accommodation can be got really cheap at the minute. And if anybody wants to fly from Ireland, the closest the closest airport, I believe, to Wembley was Heathrow or Gatwick. I don't think there was much between the two, but even at that, myself and Connor could have flown over and back for €70 each. So again, if you're thinking of heading over, you know, flights are cheap at the minute if you're going from Ireland. I can't speak from anywhere else, but hotels are available, and £50 for a twin room is not too bad at all. I don't know the ticket situation, so don't hold me to anything on that one, but I'm just saying, if you're thinking of going down there, book early because there's lots of availability at the minute. Scotty said Craig Milner's contract is out this next season, not this one. I believe you're right, mate. I posed this question earlier on Twitter. I asked about James Milner because Sky did a thing, and I put the image up just to prove that I wasn't making this up. Sky put out a team of out of contract 11. So, you know, they do this every year. Players that are running down the contract and are be gone in the summer. And James Milner was in that team at left back. So I thought, hey, is Millie up? Is Millie's contract out? And then I thought maybe there's a clause that the club could trigger, or maybe there's a clause that James Milner has the option to trigger. But either way, it looks like James Milner does have another year on his contract, and that's absolutely brilliant news because I know Klopp loves him, I know we all love him, and what a man he is to have in and around the squad. Dave said in 2 weeks' time we'll be in heaven. Damn right. Hopefully. You'll be in my gaff as well, Dave, in 2 weeks' time, mate. So there you go. And then we'll have the AJ fight to look forward to as well later on that night. The only clause I know of Santa Claus, said Stephen Richards, mate, he's not real. Shh. Don't say that, though. Don't tell anybody. It's our little secret. Right, so a few other bits and pieces as well. We talked about podcasts, and we talked about the fact that we're going to start recording them. Well, Monday, myself, Connor and Brian are going to get together and go into Connor's house and record a podcast live together in his house. We're going to video it and we're going to get it ready to go up on the channel. Now, the bad news, I suppose, around that is that there won't be a live stream on Monday night because I'm going to be driving down to Connor's, recording down there and getting the podcast ready. So, probably come out on Wednesday or so by the time we get a bit of editing and that done to it. So, again, podcasts coming as well, so I'm really looking forward to that. Robbo reminds me of John Arnorisa. He's fucking much better than John Arnorisa ever was, to be fair. I never really was a massive fan of John Arnorisa. I thought he was a bit frustrating at times. I mean, if you remember back, the amount of times he used to try fucking strikes with that left foot that would go high, wide, all over the place. And yeah, he did score a few screamers, but sometimes I think we look back at things and we're a little bit more fond than reality actually was, and I was never completely sold on him. I thought Aurelio, for instance, I would have much rather have a fit Aurelio at left back than John Arnorisa. Hopefully we'll play in the Super Cup too, said LFC fan, and as if you guys told me yesterday, it's in Istanbul, so there you go. Hope Milner stays at Liverpool for at least another season or two, said Adam Parks. What good news that is that Bobby Firmino is going to be fit for the final. Yeah, he is back in training. He's doing some warm weather training now, getting ready. So, please God, Bobby is fit because, you know, you want him there, don't you? You really do. Look, guys, if you're new to the stream, but you're enjoying it, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. As you can see, we're, 26 away from our next 100. So, please do hit that button. And, of course, drop a thumbs up as well. Good evening, mate, said Fletcher. Where did you get your hoodie from? It looks brilliant. I got it from the Liverpool store, mate. It's part of the new training gear, so yeah, I think if memory serves me, it was £50, or well, €63 by the time it was converted over, but yeah, about £50. What else we got? Neil Anthony said, I have a theory in who Klopp will get this summer. BRANDT and WERNER don't have the desire to play in England, but Kai Havertz has recently said he could be going to a big club in Europe. I don't know, Neil. I've seen no links to Liverpool to Kai Havertz, but then again, that could be a good thing because we all want one of them for me or Fabinho type transfers, don't we? Where all of a sudden, ba-boom, here's a signing, and we're all celebrating, and nobody had a sniff of it. They're the best, so hopefully, you never know, you might be right. I've got lots and lots and lots of news to get through tonight. There's so many notes done out. Big man Steve said, Mum had a tutor for me at 6 till 8:30 on the Champions League final day, but I made her cancel. I'm glad she did, mate. I mean, school is vitally important, but so is the Champions League final. So, well done to your mum. She played a blinder there. Ziyech or Depay? Who? Ziyech. I think over those two. Ziyech for me. But you know what? Any of the ones that we're talking about here, Ziyech, Depay, Wilfried Zaha, I'd be happy with any of them to join the club, because I think they'd all give us another option that we need across that front three. But no way Risa was a good left back. Is that no way Risa? Is that no way Risa was a good left back, or no way Risa was a good left back? I can't understand, Marcus, which way you're going with the comment. Trent is going to be a Liverpool legend. Love 66 on his back, said LFC fan. I'd love him to take 23, mate. I'd love him to take Jamie Carragher's old number, and Robbie Fowler's old number, and have that Scouse connection to that number 23. So call me a little bit sentimental, but I'd love that one. Will Keita be fit for the final? No, Adam. He won't, mate. Unfortunately, Naby's season seems to be over. But he'll be back around to go for next season. And I'm not 100% certain of whether he'll be ruled out of the AFCON or not, because the Guinea manager seems to think he might be fit. Will Liverpool 100% make a signing this summer, or do you think Klopp disagrees? Yes, they will. Definitely. I would say 2 or 3 perhaps. We're not going to have a massive window. I'd say more. There'll be a good few moved out. There was a few articles saying that Liverpool hope to raise around £100 million from transfer sales. So I don't know what to take from that. I mean, you're looking at... Actually, I don't want to spoil that, because I have a few more bits and pieces around that to go through. But I would imagine, Dex, mate, yeah, there'll be 2 or 3 coming in. Kevin Donovan says, go Manchester United, bro, respect. How are you, Kevin? Welcome in, mate. How long have I been streaming? About 20 minutes. 20 minutes or so, mate. Not too long, but thank you for coming in. Who would you start in the final, Genie or Milner? That is, you've nailed, Alan. That is exactly the one question that I have in my head, mate. I mean, I went through a rough guide of the team the other night, and it did come down to Genie or Milner. I'm starting James Milner, because I know how much he fucking wants that Champions League winners medal. It could be his last chance to do it as well. So I would probably start with James Milner, and that's very harsh on Gini Wijnaldum, who has had a tremendous season. And if Gini Wijnaldum started, I wouldn't bat an eyelid, because you couldn't argue about it. But I just think Milner is going to be a man possessed to try and win that Champions League final. So I'd probably just edge James Milner, but that's being very harsh on Gini Wijnaldum, isn't it? Because he's sensational. Declan McCartney said, I can't wait to see Brewster, Gomez and Oxlade-Chamberlain back. We need Doherty, Ziyech and a Pjanic type player. Matt Doherty, God, it would be interesting, alright, but I mean, a couple of people have mentioned him, Declan, over the last few days. Ziyech, yes, absolutely need one of those type of players, and a Pjanic type player, yes. A regista, I suppose, is the phrase we're looking for there for talking about Pjanic. But where did I see Pjanic was linked to go somewhere else? I can't for the life of me remember where it was. I'm sure somebody will know. Was Ashley Cole a good left back? He was. To be fair, Ashley Cole was an excellent left back. Probably one of the most consistent left backs throughout the Premier League's era. Zaha's too expensive, said football mainly YouTube. Devon's in. Devon, how are you? And said, hey Craig, how are you doing? I'm tickety-boo, buddy. Tickety-boo as always. I hope you're well. Shaqiri wears 23. I'm well aware, mate. I know he wears 23, but we could push him. We could say, hey Sheridan, do you know what? I've always thought of you, and I don't know, and give him another number. I just think 23. There's just that always been that lovely Scouse connection before Emre Can came in, and Emre Can it all up. Imagine if Liverpool signed De Ligt, that would be dangerous, said Seb. I honestly don't see it happening. I know loads of Reds are holding out hope for Matthias De Ligt. I don't see it happening. That's not based on any knowledge, as I keep saying. It's just based on the fact that it's gone very, very quiet. I don't know if he's going to sign for Barca either. Some people think he's nailed on to sign for Barcelona. I don't know about that. James Dyson said we need a playmaker. Not sure about the pie, but I like meat and potato pie, said Red Hulk. LFC fans said we defo need a left back. We do. But on that, it won't be Lloyd Kelly. I'm sure some of you might have missed this, but Bournemouth have agreed a fee and signed Lloyd Kelly from Bristol City for around £13 million. Now, there had been a lot of ITKs on Twitter jumping the bandwagon and saying, hey, we're going to sign him. Yeah, don't they look foolish now? And this is why I always say be a little bit careful, and anything you hear on social media, and even anything you see on here from me or hear about from me, take it with a massive pinch of salt, because football moves quickly, and lots of people were thinking Lloyd Kelly was Liverpool bound. We even spoke about him here last night on the stream, but he is now a Bournemouth player, so 13 million quid, and he has signed on there. I wonder, does that mean that we're going to see young Adam Lewis get be the deputy to Andy Robertson this season at left back? He's had a very good season for the under 23s and that, so let's wait and see what happens there. But we do need a fullback. There's no doubt about that. We need cover there. And I would suggest we need cover for both sides. A good signing for Liverpool would be Maddison, said Doc Q. He would. James Maddison's an excellent footballer. It's just another one of those where we could have got him last year. We could have got him when he was at Norwich last year, and we didn't, and Leicester pulled the trigger, and they've got themselves a very, very good player. There was a tweet from James Maddison that kind of, I don't know if it suggested that it was the end or just the end of the season, this tweet. It kind of was a bit cryptic, so I don't think Liverpool will be gone for Maddison. I think it would cost a ridiculous amount of money now, even after just one season in the Premier League. And I think Leicester will fight very hard to keep him there because he's a very good footballer. Sharon James, I'm butchering this, I'm sorry, said Nicolas Pepe would be a great buy. Again, another good young forward who lots of clubs around Europe are looking at. And as I've said many times, I haven't watched much of him this season. I know he did, was it 31 goals, something like that? Harold said, this City team is better than the Everton team of the mid-80s. Duh, mate, duh. Will you now admit that this is the best British team of all time? It has to be up there. I mean, putting aside all my aggro about how the club are funded and stuff, yeah, look, that Manchester City team, nobody can argue they're not sensational. Nobody can say they're not a great squad. They are. They've won the treble. Are they the best of all time? I don't know. Probably not my place to say. They're probably the most consistent team of my era, maybe, I should say. But you can't be considered the best of all time, I think, mate, till you start adding European Cups to your name. I don't mean that as a sly little dig, although I kind of do, to be fair, actually, if I'm telling the truth. To be considered the best British club of all time, don't you have to start putting some old big ears in the trophy cabinet? And Manchester City don't know nothing about winning the European Cup. Mr. Royal County said, any good players from relegated teams that Klopp might go for worked in the past? Yeah, we do have a little record, don't we? Ryan Sessegnon is one that springs to mind. Now, again, I have a little bit of news here on Ryan Sessegnon, so just bear with me. We know Manchester United are very much interested in Ryan Sessegnon. There's a couple of articles after coming out. Well, I read something today that said Liverpool could derail Manchester United's move for Fulham's Ryan Sessegnon, and this comes out of the Daily Express, so as always, take everything with a pinch of salt. The Reds have been linked with the versatile Fulham wide man in the past, but their interest has cooled heading into this summer's window. Spurs remain interested, but United are the only club to have made an initial contact with Fulham. But Ryan Sessegnon is a boyhood Liverpool fan, and the 19-year-old knows that a move to Old Trafford would almost certainly prevent him from playing from Liverpool one day, with him favouring a move to Spurs as a result. Any United fans in the chat, what do you think about hearing that? That basically he'd rather go to Spurs because he wants to go to Liverpool, and he knows if he goes to United that he probably won't end up at Liverpool someday. So I have to say I did smile when I read that. I do like Ryan Sessegnon. I've told you guys the Spurs were very much interested in him as well. The United thing has come out in the last few days in the media, but that made me smile when I thought about that one. And he'd be my relegated player if we're talking about, you know, players that went down and this habit that we have of buying from relegated clubs. Nathan said Kate is supposedly ready for the Champions League final. I haven't seen anything to confirm that, buddy. Firmino, yes, he's back in warm weather training. Keita, even if he was by some miracle ready, he's not going to start because Klopp will want players who are in rhythm. And I know Liverpool are looking for a friendly, I think. Somebody told me that... who was it turned down a friendly against Liverpool? One of the Dutch teams. Oh God, I can't remember which one it was. One of the Dutch teams was wasn't Herenveen. It wasn't... it doesn't matter who it was. One of the Dutch teams apparently turned down a friendly with Liverpool. So I think Liverpool are looking to get minutes in the players' legs before that. Now, obviously, you wouldn't expect them to play at full tilt. But again, it's about rhythm. And Klopp speaks often about wanting his players to be in a match rhythm. Peter said, United has some good news. They're no longer the most hated team in Manchester. Did you see that Manchester City fan, by the way? The video going around on social media that got into the media section, or the media section of Wembley, and start moaning about the fact that we won the fucking treble and all you fuckers will be just writing about Mohamed Salah tomorrow. Talk about City. Did you see that? Gobshite. Absolute gobshite. And further proof that even after winning the treble, obsessed about Liverpool. Absolutely obsessed about Liverpool. It's rent-free. That's all I can say, ladies and gentlemen. Rent-free. What about Kakir, the goalkeeper? I've seen a few people mention him, Louis. I don't know. We do need a backup goalkeeper. That much is 100% certain. Whether it's going to be Kakir, whether it might be Queevy and Kelleher, Grabara, whether it's somebody else, I don't know. Klopp will have a few transfer races up his sleeves. Will get annoyed as they won't be big names, but he will be proven right again. In Klopp we trust, said Aziz Khan. The Champions League is the biggest club competition in world football, and the mighty Reds are in the final. Our City, they're not. What are my thoughts on Keita? I love him. I absolutely love Naby Keita, Raymond. My thoughts are that I'm so glad that he started to show his true form towards the end of the season. It's a damn shame that he's injured. Yeah, I can't wait to see him next season. I think he's just going to keep getting better and better and better, and we're going to have one hell of a midfielder on our hands, and I'm delighted he's at the club. So, Paul Young said, Craig, I have a theory that since Griezmann has gone to Barcelona, Dembele would want to move. If this happens, Klopp would go for him since he's a fantastic winger. Yeah, I think if Griezmann went to if Griezmann went to Barcelona and they already have Frankie de Jong and they were looking for De Ligt and a couple of other players as well, you would imagine that somebody would probably be moved on. Whether that's Felipe Coutinho, whether that's Ousmane Dembele, I don't know. But Dembele is a cracking player. There's no secret that he has attitude issues, and that's not me guessing. Guillaume Balaguer did a video on this at one time that I watched where he said he was basically told, knuckle down at Barcelona or you're going to be moved on. And he seems to have tried to knuckle down. I also wonder, will Valverde be at Barcelona next season? We know Allegri is going to be leaving Juventus. Whether this starts a bit of a managerial merry-go-round, I don't know. But a lot could depend on what manager will be at Barcelona next season. Ludwig said, Sterling's a United fan. Yep, we spoke about this last night as well, mate. He did come out and say that he was a childhood Manchester United fan. Brian Morrissey's in the house, sir. How are you? Welcome. Let me just catch up. Trying to get through all the comments, as many as I can, guys. AZ Alkmaar, that was it. Thank you. For those of you, let me know who it was for the friendly. This is why you guys are fucking best subscribers on YouTube. I keep saying you're so knowledgeable. Bernadette Farrell's in as well. How are you, Bernadette? If we sign Pepe or Ziyech, do you think they would replace / who do you think they would replace / come off the bench for? I'm glad you changed the end of it to come off the bench, Tay Campbell, because I don't like to say replace. I don't know, mate. One of them might drop in behind and play in a kind of the front of a diamond behind the front three. We might see a change of formation slightly. But all in all, mate, I think it's about rotation. And if we're going to challenge in the Premier League, the Champions League, the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, then you're talking about 50 to 60 games a season. And you can't expect the front three to play 50 to 60 games a season. So I think it'll all be rotation. And, successful teams, players don't mind being rotated from time to time because they're part of a successful collective. And at the end of the season, they know they're going to be there challenging for the big prizes. So I don't think they will replace anybody. I mean, we are losing Daniel Sturridge. We know that for a fact. Now, yes, you can say we're bringing in Ryan Brewster, but you probably do need more bodies in there as well. 250 million for Salah, no less. A dauntless always. He's not going anywhere. 250 million or not 250 million, he's still not going anywhere. Dirkbo123, Dicky Bow. What did I say? Dirkbo. Maybe I'm thinking about Dirk Cow. Dicky Bow123 said, do you think Chamberlain will start against Spurs? No, I don't. For the same reason I was talking about earlier on with Naby Keita, rhythm, match rhythm. There is actually a slight bit of news around the Champions League final. Again, just trying to find my notes. Yeah, so this year there's a little bit of a change. Liverpool will be able to name a 23-man squad for the Champions League final against Spurs and Madrid. This year, both clubs are allowed to name 12 subs. So that will give Jurgen Klopp a much better option. are much better options from the bench, and the same for Pochettino as well. So good news, which means that yes, we'll definitely have the likes of Oxlade-Chamberlain, maybe Ryan Brewster on the bench, and Klopp will be able to see what tweaks need to be made throughout the game. But I don't expect him to start just because he hasn't got enough minutes under his belt. Guinea manager said the injury isn't as bad as first thought. He kind of said it a bit more bluntly than that one, mate. I think he kind of had a go at Liverpool for ruling him out and saying these injuries are usually 4 to 6 weeks, and Liverpool are saying 2 months plus. And I think he said we were being a bit presumptuous. A few Pepe Reina shouts as well. I see he did do an interview where he spoke about how much he still loves Liverpool, and I think he still has a home in Liverpool as well, if memory serves. He's 36. He's still at AC Milan. I don't know. I'd rather bring through a younger player than bring back Pepe Reina, to be fair. As much as, he was great when he was here. For a good part of the time he was here. We did have a bit of a shaky period, actually. Salah leaving this summer. I'm just gonna mute the word Salah and leaving on this chat, I think, because he's not going anywhere. Why do people, just because Spanish bullshit newspapers start talking about the fact that Real Madrid are going to buy every footballer that ever laced up a pair of football boots, people think that Mohamed Salah has already got his bags packed, and him and fucking Hazard are skipping together hand in hand in their pyjamas with Zinedine Zidane on the back of it on the airport on the way to Madrid. It isn't going to happen. Mo Salah is not going anywhere unless Jurgen Klopp wants to sell him, and I don't think he does. Barnes said, I hope United become competitive again. At least there was a big club history and respect there. 14 more sleeps to go as well, said Barnes. Indeed, mate. 14 more to go until the Champions League final. Can't wait. Craig Pepe Reina said he wants to finish his career off at Liverpool. Did he? I don't know if he did, mate. I read that article today and maybe I missed it, but I didn't see the part about wanting to finish his career at Liverpool. He said he's at AC Milan and he will finish his career at Milan, is what I read anyway. What players should we look to sell in the summer? Asked Doc Q. How about everybody puts their list into the chat and we go through them? I'll give you mine as well, of course, but if you think I've missed anybody or there's any players you think Liverpool will move on, then guys, please do put it in the chat. I'm going to go with Simon Mignolet because he's spoken about wanting game time, and I think he's been a thorough professional this season and he's earned the right to go and play somewhere. Kleiny, I think, will be moved on full time. Moreno, we know, is releasing from his contract because it's up. Daniel Sturridge, the same. I have something on Adam Lallana, which I'll get to, so I think Adam Lallana might move on. Grujic perhaps move on. Wilson perhaps move on. You'll always have a few young players as well who will go out on loan. And I've always said I've got a sneaking suspicion that Degsy Lovren will be sold in the summer as well. And that's already right there, a lot of players on the way out the door. Of course, all just guesswork. It's about time now that we cut out all the crap about us selling our best players. Those days are gone, said Elijah John 5. It's true that Salah's going to Madrid, said Red Hulk. It is true, mate, you're right. But as you've said, mate, it's on June the motherfucking 1st for the Champions League final, and for no other reason. I love it, mate. I love it. Good show. Would you sell Salah or Mane to help fund the deal for Mbappe? Yes. I would rather. I can't believe. Yeah, if I had to sell one of them to get Mbappe, and I think Mbappe is an absolute superstar, and he's probably the only player here that I would even consider in this conversation to sell one of them for, I would sell Salah over Mane personally. I think Mane is more important to our system and more impactful for us than Mo Salah. I think I actually said that last night as well, but that would only be for Kylian Mbappe, and it isn't going to happen, so we're playing absolute make-believes here. It's about time that we cut out all the crap. I've done that one. Where was Scotty's comment about Pepe Reina? Let me just get back to that one. I don't want Scotty to think I just zipped over it. Craig, but Klopp did manage Dembele at Dortmund. Right, we've gone through that one. It wasn't that. I think maybe I've just missed something then. Did you hear about Jamie Carragher back in Liverpool to re-sign Coutinho, and do I agree with this? I did, John. I did see that, mate. And Phil Thompson also said he wouldn't mind. He said he'd take him back instantly, actually. I think, if I remember correctly, the Jamie Carragher interview said that Barca would have to drop their price. But if it was right, he'd take him back. And we had a good chat about this on the stream last night. I understand where he's coming from. If the price was right and Jurgen Klopp wanted him and all could be forgiven, then again, who am I to second guess Kloppo? But the fact, it makes me wonder, John, because Carragher's talking about it, Phil Thompson was talking about it. Is there something to this? Is there something going on maybe behind the scenes that we're not sure of? Because we know if Felipe Coutinho was sold by Barcelona right now, then we'd lose out on 20 million from the transfer fee because he wouldn't have played a certain amount of games, which, you know, trigger certain clauses in his contract. I don't know. I almost refuse to believe about Coutinho coming back, but the fact that like a few ex-players are talking about it puts a little seed of doubt in my mind. We desperately need to bolster our squad. We need to be challenging for every trophy next season, said Elijah John 5, and I agree. We do need to add depth to our squad. As much as we have a very good squad now, we've been, you know, unlucky with some injuries, but you know what, every squad picks up injuries, and it's when you get these injuries that you need to be looking for depth. So I agree. A few more transfers in of quality wouldn't go astray. Sorry I'm late, Craig. I got distracted by the Eurovision. Wow. Is that even still a thing, the Eurovision? It's been so long. My mum used to make me watch it all the time growing up when I was a kid, but because it's been a long time, I even forgot the Eurovision even existed, really, to be fair. Scotty said, do you think we could play a 4-4-2, the midfield and a diamond with Bobby up top with Salah and Mane? We can play any system, Scotty. We've got the bodies to play any way Jurgen Klopp wants to. 4-4-2 is entirely plausible. Sometimes as fans I think we can get caught up in formations a little bit too much and little tactical tweaks in a game. I mean, I've often seen times for 5 minutes that we've seen Trent and Robbo just switch. Now I often wondered, was this a technical thing from Jurgen Klopp, or was it just because we'd cleared a corner and they just happened to be on that side when play had progressed? And yeah, I mean, I wouldn't worry too much about the formations, but we could play any system. It's just a matter of getting the players used to it and a full pre-season under the belt, which is why Klopp wants to get players in early when he gets his transfers done, because he wants to get them ready for the system. And we'd seen with later transfers how long it can take players to bed in. Just think of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, think of Fabinho, think of Andy Robertson. They weren't introduced really until the mid to latter half of the season. Now they all hit the ground running and played really well, but it did take time before Jurgen Klopp trusted them, both fitness wise and, you know, to be able to play in a system. Boy is in. How are you, mate? Great to see you, Anthony. Always a pleasure. We're the home side now for the Champions League final. Yeah, well, technically we're the away side, but we're in the home dressing room because of something around security and where our fans are in the stadium. It's all very confusing, isn't it? Liverpool versus City in the Community Shield, said Red Tick Gaming, which is true. I fucking hate that idea, to be fair. I hope Kloppo sends out the fucking kids to play against them in the Community Shield, because it should, you know, we didn't win anything in the league, so I'd rather they just let the runners up at the FA Cup final in rather than us. But it is what it is, and it is a game that will be taking place on the first weekend in August. Kane and Lucas and Son will be up against Virgil, said Raymond. Yeah, and Virgil will put them all in his back pocket, mate, because he's Virgil van Dijk. He's a centre half. He's our number 4. You know the rest. Red Hulk said, sorry Craig, I'm linked to Madrid. Well, look mate, we'll be sorry to see you go. Boy, fuck off with the Salah stuff. I know you're winding me up. James from Swansea isn't top 6 quality, said Doc Q. He's of course linked to Manchester United, so not really something we need to worry about. Pochettino is not banned from the touchline. I know a couple of people have been mentioning this. Yeah, he definitely isn't banned. He received he did receive a ban, but it was kind of rescinded or delayed, or, you know, it's not going to come into effect unless something else happens down the line. So he will be there on the sideline, and I'm glad he will be, because it wouldn't be right. I mean, he got his team to the final. He deserves to be standing on the sideline, so I'm glad that Pochettino will be there. Right, so people are giving some names of who was going to go out. Lovren, Lallana, Klein, Moreno, Sturridge, Klein, Lallana. Yes, so people are talking about Lallana, and a few of them are making links and are saying Lallana to Southampton. Yes, that has come up. We spoke about the possibility of Lallana leaving the club, and we mentioned it earlier on in the stream. It appears that this might actually have some legs. I read some articles today that suggest at 31 years of age he wants more playing time and would be open to a move back to Southampton. The rumour transfer fee, or the figure mentioned, was £13 million. So how would everybody feel about that? Adam Lallana, 31 years of age. I've always said if a player just wants more game time, I've no issues with them moving on, especially when they get into the latter part of their career. It would make sense for him to go back to is it the South Coast? That's where it is, the South Coast. 13 million, fair price. Is he worth more? What do you guys think? I'd love to know your thoughts. Elijah Johnson, I like Wilson. I think he deserves a chance. Lovren won't go, said Pat Lampard. Players to sell: Mignolet, Moreno, Sturridge, Lallana, Klein, Grujic and Lovren, said Musa Banda. What about Ziyech? I think we spoke last night, 25 million. Isn't there a fee somewhere? A 25 million buyout clause or something rumoured to be in his contract. And yeah, we need somebody in and around that position. So I guess it's just a matter of, is it going to be Ziyech? Is it going to be Depay? Is it going to be Fekir? Is it going to be Dybala? Is it going to be Neres? Is it going to be two of those? Is it somebody that none of us have spoken about yet? Dylan Kelly said, I think we should go back in for Fekir if we can get him at a good price. Seeing what he can do against City in the Champions League and against City, he's a smashing player. As I've always said, if the club can get over whatever the reason was they didn't sign him last summer, and we all believed that to be his knee or his ACL rebuild, then I'm sound about it, because he is absolutely perfect. He's absolutely perfect for our system, and I would love Nabil Fekir at Liverpool, much as we all wanted it to happen last year as well. So yeah, if the club can get over whatever that reason was, then I'm all for it. Is there anything you regret not saying in the 888 interview? No, mate. It was because we did like 3 or 4 hours of filming, and it was all chopped down and condensed into the little 2-minute 20 clips that you're seeing popping out there. And there's still another 1 or 2 more to go as well. So I think I got everything off my chest. A lot of it was probably cut, and you'd expect that when you're in these type of situations. But nah, I think I said everything I needed to say. Lewis Johnson, how are you, mate? Said, hi Craig, not a lot of money, but just wanted to say huge congratulations on getting 15.5k. Keep up the great work, mate. And a question: if you could bring back any 3 Liverpool legends, who would they be and why? Well, firstly, Lewis, mate, thank you so much for the super chat, buddy. Very kind of you indeed. And please don't say not a lot of money, mate. Different people are in different financial situations, and £10, mate, is £10, and that is a massive amount of money for anyone. So thank you very much. And in answer to your question, bring back any 3 legends and why? Stevie G, because I think, imagine him in behind that front 3 right now. Oh my god, he could do damage. Who else would I bring back? It's tough because we're looking at a team that are pretty well balanced. So Stevie G, Jan Molby. I'd love Jan Molby in that register role now, threading balls through as well to the front 3. And then Kenny Dalglish, obviously, from a wide position. So yeah, Jan Molby, Stevie G and Kenny Dalglish, they'd be the 3 I'd bring back. But also shouts for Hansen as well. I mean, you could say Clements, but, you know, Alisson's pretty damn good as well. Yeah, there's so many we could pick. But yeah, that's the 3 I'd go with, mate. But thank you so much again for the super chat. And more than anything, just for being in here, mate, and being on the streams. Thank you. 13 million, let him go, said Shabir. With regards to Adam Lallana, we should sign, who's ARP? I'm not sure who you mean, Raymond, sorry. I think it must be just a misprint, or your autocorrect fucked you up there. 20 million for Lallana, said Jack's Page. Archie Humphrey 20 million. I think you're right, guys. I think 13 million does sound a little bit too cheap to me for Adam Lallana. And, you know, I know he's 31 and all that, but we've seen players 30 plus go for ridiculous money around Europe. So I think, yeah, and a few more. John Irwin as well said 20 million. I think you guys are in and about on the money there. I feel it's time for Lallana to depart, said Craig Weston. As do I, but I don't mean that in a degrading way at all, because Adam Lallana, when Jurgen Klopp first came in, was pivotal in our development as a football club. Him and Bobby Firmino were so important to the press, and the energy that they both brought to the team was outstanding. So I don't want to be in any way disrespectful to Adam Lallana, because I really am grateful for everything that he's done in our football club, and I am disappointed for him that he's picked up those injuries. But I do agree with Craig there. I think it might be the right time for Lallana to look to move on, but with, of course, all of our best wishes, because he deserves them. He looks like a damn good lad as well. And Hendo's bestie as well, so, you know, there is that. I'll never forget the video of those two. Do you remember the hotel room, the two of them bouncing around like 2 kids? Ella said, I like Lallana, but if he wants to get game time, I'd let him go. Dirty Girl said the usual millionaires, Mignolet, Lallana, can all fund the 9-bedroom mansions. What's up, Dirty Girl? You seem a little bit angry these days, mate. I hope everything's okay. Dave's gone for... Oh, John Barnes is a good shout as well, Dave. Very difficult to pick just 3, isn't it? John Barnes, Ian Rush and Stevie G is who Dave would have as his 3 Liverpool legends to bring back. Stevie Richards said bring back Rambo. Souness is a damn good shout as well, going ads. Although, you know, Souness in this style of football, he'd be sent off after 5 minutes, wouldn't he? Dirty Girl's gone for Hansen, Stevie G and Kenny Dalglish. Barnes has gone for Fowler, and a bit more Robbie Fowler. He is my favourite Liverpool player of all time, Robbie Fowler. Absolutely idolise him. Hippia and VVD at the back, said Scotty. V for Vendetta said, or Vegdetta said Michael Owen with a smiley face. Road to 20k and our number 6 said Riley Jenkins. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate that. Don't forget the legend that is Ragnar Klavan. How could you forget Ragnar Klavan, mate? I mean, he's a legend. ARP is going to Bayern. ARP. I'm having an absolute brain freeze. Who are those initials for? Who's ARP? Somebody help me out. ARP? I'm going to have to scroll down now till I figure out who this is. My God, I didn't realise I was so far behind in the chat. It's getting harder and harder to keep up. Right, somebody help me out here. Who the fuck is ARP? I'm absolutely drawing a blank here. Oh, that's his name. Like, that literally is his name. There you go then. I'm gonna fucking Scooby-Doo ARP. Dan for football is in. Dan, how are you, mate? Welcome. Souness, bring back Rambo. We've done all that. Ziyech is worth 25 million, said Craig Weston. He absolutely is. Jovanovic and Ngog. God, don't bring them back. Do you remember that? Christian Pulisic, Jovanovic and Ngog, Joe Cole. Oh, God, what a time that was. Lallana always reminds me of McManaman, said LFC fan. AALF Tez, Liverpool fan 9, said 4 signings would be Nicolas Pepe, Ziyech, Memphis Depay and Nabil Fekir. Archie Humphrey said, love the channel, man. Thank you, mate. Really, really kind of you. Welcome and thank you for the kind words. Guys, if you like Archie, do like the channel and you are enjoying the stream, please do remember to hit that subscribe button. We're on the march towards 15,600 and every single one of your subscriptions means the world to us. Be nice to get to 16k before the Champions League final, so if you can help us out and hit that button, it would be very much appreciated. Phil Mitchell, thank you. Alright, fair enough. All I care about at the moment is the final because I hope we really win. Come on, the Reds at JDent06. Yeah, I get you, mate. It's just, I think we're just trying to really kill time between now and the final because 14 days to go. It seems a long way away, but it'll fly in. Any information about Ziyech? Not really, Job, other than, you know, the 25 million release clause and no. Again, I don't want to make stuff up. We spoke yesterday about him. There was a little bit starting to come out about Ziyech, but I like that it's quiet around Liverpool transfers. I like that we don't know what's going on out there. I just, like everybody else, I would like to see 1 or 2 in quickly. Whether they're announced before the Champions League final or after, I don't know. Stephen Richards said, Craig, my memory of Lallana is Norwich away and Klopp and his breaking his glasses. Yep, absolutely. I agree with you. What do you think of Connor Masterson? Somebody mentioned to me, Raymond, that he might be moving on. And when I say somebody, I mean literally somebody in our chat said to me yesterday that Masterson could be moving on. Obviously, a good young Irish centre-back, so I'm going to be completely biased, but he hasn't been tested really at the top level yet, so it's very difficult to know. I know Jurgen Klopp spoke very, very highly about him last year. It'd be a shame if he moves on because, you know, me being Irish, I do like Irish players at Liverpool. We've got Caoimhín Kelleher there as well, of course. So Ali Reza Yachambesh from Brighton is a good player. What do you think? I think I've probably gotten his name wrong, Dave, when I was saying that there. I don't know anything about him, mate. I don't know anything about him, so I'd be absolutely lying. Bernadette wants Stevie G, Mascherano and Alonso for her 3 back. Robert Milliken went Stevie Highway, Alan Hansen and Stevie G. Stevie G, Robbie Fowler, sorry, I was thinking he's talking about Robbie Keane there, and Xabi Alonso for Dan Football. Fowler would get 100 goals. Fowler was one of the most natural finishers I've ever seen. I absolutely idolise him, and there is a reason he's called God by Liverpool fans. Craig, would you class Mo Salah and Sadio Mane as Liverpool legends? No, absolutely not. They're not here long enough. They haven't won enough. No, not for me. I think they're on the way to being legends, and an old Champions League and a couple of other trophies, and they'll certainly go down as legends. Anybody who wins a Champions League will go down as a club legend to me, because this club exists to win European Cups. You know what I mean? We are European royalty. As much as we all want that damn Premier League title, no, I wouldn't say they're legends yet, mate. I think they've a bit of a way to go. He's a striker that plays with Schalke, said Liam Hunter. Thank you very much, mate, for that info. I really want us to win the final. Prayers in the chat, said Jay Dent. God, there's a couple more things. I love your channel, and I always watch your videos because they're cool, said Steve Roberts. Mate, thank you. I'm loving all the kind words lately. Thank you so much. But as I always say, the channel only is what it is because of our subscribers. And when people come in, they look at the chat and they see that it's a nice bunch of friendly, knowledgeable people. And that's what attracts people in, or at least that's what gets people to stay here. So anyone that thanks me, it's the chat that makes it. So I should be always thanking you guys. Gonna miss Lallana, very good player with great off-the-ball movements, said Jack C. Barnes said, I love Lallana as much as the next guy, but he's just not good enough and too injury prone, unfortunately. Will Mo Salah leave Liverpool? I've answered this, I think, 3 times already today, buddy. No. Not in this window, anyway. Craig, who's the fastest player at Liverpool? I don't actually know who's the fastest. I would imagine maybe Sadio Mane. I still think it's funny that Mane thought he was faster than a giraffe, by the way. But I don't know, who is the fastest player at Liverpool? Would it be? I don't know. Have we ran the 100 metres right? Does anybody have these numbers? Because I'm sure somebody knows who the fastest player at Liverpool is. I don't know. Yeah, off the top of my head, I would say maybe Sadio Mane, but you never know. Would I take Bale? No, he's too injury prone. Great player. I mean, on his day he can destroy anybody, but he's the wrong side of, well, he's 30 now, isn't he, or 31. Very injury prone, would want massive wages. No, not for me. Captain Derpy said, thoughts on the Spurs game? I'm a Spurs fan, so be careful. I think, mate, let me first say congratulations. Genuinely, heartfelt congratulations to Spurs for getting to the final. I've spoken about my dislike for Manchester City for various reasons. I've spoken about my dislike of PSG for almost the same reasons, but I have nothing but admiration for Spurs and the way they've gone about things. You've got a fantastic young manager in there who's getting nothing but the best out of the players available to him. Your chairman helped build a fantastic stadium to secure your club's long-term future. But I won't lie, I would have preferred to play Ajax because I don't like English clubs playing English clubs in Europe. It just doesn't feel right to me. But you deserve your place in the final, mate. And you're not going to get any disrespect from me whatsoever. I think we'll win, but it's a one-off game and anything is possible. So may the best team win on the day, my friend. That's all I can say to you. But thank you and welcome into the chat. Andrew Varane and Paul Konchesky and we Joe Allen are 3 players I'd have back. They found out Gomez was the fastest, said Barnes. That's a shout, mate. I think I remember something about that. It wouldn't surprise me either because Joe Gomez is just a specimen, isn't he? He's just an absolute athlete. Kade scored in seconds against Huddersfield. He's the fastest, said Robert O'Reilly. Yeah, that was brilliant. Well, I mean, what a start to the game that was. There was something that was said when he was brought from Roma. There was something that was said about it when he was brought from Roma. Or bought from Roma. Who are we talking about here? Mo Salah? Why have we got loads of a la Madrids in the chat? That's Klopp's face on the big Anfield managers banner. That is what we want to see, LFC fan, isn't it? I mean, yeah. I mean, absolutely. Paisley, Shankly, Rafa, Kloppo, King Kenny. Yeah, I hope he gets on that banner, mate. You're right. I mean, I love Jurgen Klopp so much. I'm so thankful that he's at our football club. And I still couldn't think of a manager more suited to our team. And a manager that deserves success. So, good shout, mate. And I'll be looking forward to seeing his face on that banner. Let's bring the cup to Anfield on June the 1st, said is a Hadyway. Think about this, said Will. In exactly 2 weeks' time, we'll know whether we've won the Champions League or not. Oh, it's fucking great to be able to say that, isn't it? How great is it to say that? I keep thinking back to that time where Vincent Kompany scored the goal against Leicester, and I was absolutely devastated. I'm not going to lie, I was devastated. 3-0 down after the first leg against Barca in a game that we never deserved to lose 3-0. Vincent Kompany scores that worldie and, you know, looks like it secured City the league, which of course it did do. But then that Tuesday night, Anfield, special place, special atmosphere, and a special fucking game of football, and we are in the Champions League final. Oh, I cannot wait. And then of course that was followed up on the Wednesday night by absolute madness in Ajax as well, with Spurs scoring those 3 second half goals to book their spot in the final. Captain Derpy said, thanks mate, good luck to all my friends. Liverpool, all my friends are Liverpool fans, so I always hear them. Right back to you, mate. It's going to be a great final. May the best team win. Picture Prime Minister Michael Owen in this team. Or Prime. What the fuck did I say Prime Minister? Tierney. Why did I say Prime Minister Tierney? I don't know. Picture Prime Michael Owen in this team. I can't deny he was a quality footballer. I mean, the shithousery since and the way he's went to United and all that, but I mean, he won us an FA Cup on his own, pretty much, Michael Owen, with that performance against Arsenal. Richard Kittle said, love the show, mate. I'd bring back Craig Johnson, Ian Rush, the greatest ever Stevie G. Yeah, and a shout out as well. You're talking about like Craig Johnson there and older players. I always think Jim Beglin deserves a mention, and Rob Jones. 2 players who had their careers cut short. 2 great fullbacks who had their careers cut short through injury. So when we're talking about great older players like that, I always like to give those 2 a mention. Can you just write Salah's not leaving somewhere on the screen? Yeah, I almost feel more than that now. I think we almost need a Salah leaving klaxon, like we have a Buvac klaxon where you just go, no more answers on that one. I'd have Stevie G over Alonso any day of the week, said Craig Weston, as would I. Apparently Henderson ran 35.5 kilometres during the World Cup. Mane has only reached 34.4 in Europe. Love that, mate. Thank you, Lombe. Thank you so much, mate, for that information. Hendo, look at Hendo lashing out the fucking sprints. Good man. Ella said, Craig, you reckon it'd be tough to get a ticket for the Community Shield? Myself and Connor just had that conversation earlier on. I don't know is the honest answer, because I've never had to go and look for one. I can't imagine it will be as hard as it would be for normal games. Now, bear in mind, a lot of Reds are going to be out of pocket dramatically for the trip to Madrid, so maybe some might look at the Community Shield and go, might pass, and maybe you get maybe more English Reds going, maybe some London-based Liverpool fans. I would say it would be possible, Ella, but of course I don't want to give you false hope. But when myself and Connor looked at it earlier on, we were looking at the possibility of booking it and going, but then we said, nah, we want to do a European away next season, so we're hoping to do that instead. Whether we get tickets or not is another thing, but we're going to travel over to European away, I think, next season, so we're trying to save our money for that one. But I would think there'd be a good chance, Ella, that you might get one. Hippier was the fastest, said Craig Weston. He wasn't the fastest, but what a player Big Sammy was. Sadio Mane 21.4 miles per hour, said Papandu. Thank you for that one, buddy. Van Dijk second, 21.5 miles an hour. And was there a first, or have I missed the first, mate? Okay, so we're doing a countdown, are we? Ah, there you go, mate. Love it. First, Joe Gomez, 21.6 miles per hour. So everyone that gave that Joe Gomez shout earlier on, you were all spot on, as always, as you guys always are. 14 days till we become champions, said Connor Donnelly. I just want to check my notes because I'll always miss something. So on Timo Werner, because I know a lot of people will see Timo Werner on the thumbnail tonight and go, hey, what's the story with Timo Werner? Ian McGarry, who's a football consultant, believes that Liverpool have intensified their efforts to sign the striker in recent times. Speaking about this, he said, we mentioned a few weeks ago on the podcast that he was on that we've an interest in Timo Werner, as in I contextualised that there. We mean Liverpool. Have an interest in Timo Werner from RB Leipzig, and that interest has increased, I'm led to believe, in the last 2 weeks. There you go. So just when I think, and when we were talking about maybe there is no interest in Timo Werner, Ian McGarry seems to come out and say, hey, Liverpool have actually gone and intensified their interest in Timo Werner. So again, take from that what you will, ladies and gents, but I think it's fair to say of all the names that we've mentioned, the Timo Werners, the Ziyech, the Neres, the Fekir, the Abalas, the Memphis Depays, and God, I'm probably missing a Julian Brandt, and I'm probably forgetting another one or two as well. I think, and actually there was Maxi Gomez was another attacker from Celta Vigo that we were linked with. I think you'll probably see it being one or two of them guys come in. Who that is, that's part of the fun, isn't it? That's part of the guessing game that we're all trying to figure out. Ben said, are you serious, Craig? I said all of them as well. As in, all of which, Ben, mate? Sorry. Was it the running? If it was the speed, mate, then I sincerely apologise if I missed it, Ben. Please don't take it as a slight against yourself. Yet again, you're still the sexiest ball person ever. I think The Rock might have something to say about that one, Callum. I will definitely say, I will definitely back down. The Rock's just a dude, isn't he? I love The Rock myself, to be fair. I think we don't need a new centre-back. We've got Joe Gomez, said Ludwig. I just think the injuries to Lovren might see him move on. I know I keep saying that and people keep saying I'm wrong, and I could well be absolutely wrong. It's just a gut feeling that I have. And if we do, then we will need another centre-back. But I love Joe Gomez, Ludwig. I absolutely love the guy. And he's my first choice partner for Virgil van Dijk when he's fit. Galactic Gamer said, hi, I love your channel. Mate, thank you so much. Really kind of you, mate. I'm glad you're enjoying it, and I'm glad to see you in here interacting in the chat, and I hope to interact with you more as we progress. Eric Meyer was the worst Liverpool player ever. Oh, he's a nice guy though, Shabir. He's a really nice guy, Eric Meyer, and still loves the Reds. Trent is going to be up there with Gerrard, legend territory eventually, said LFC fan. Have you been contacted by Claude or True Geordie? No, I actually put out a message as well on Twitter to Claude because I couldn't DM him because we don't follow each other. So I did, tag him and say, mate, if you ever want to chat, I know you don't know me, but I am here if you ever want to have a chat. And I hope Claude is okay. I really, really do. I know I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I don't like Arsenal Fan TV or AFTV. I don't like them at all. But the man put himself out there and he was honest and shared his feelings, and he spoke about a subject that I actually feel really passionate about when it comes to trolling and stuff and bullying. So I do sincerely wish Claude all the best, and my offer still stands. If I can be of any use to the guy ever, please, man, hit me up. As for True Geordie, nah, nothing yet. He mustn't like this bald Irish fool, or else he just hasn't seen. But fingers crossed, somebody will catch True Geordie's attention at some point, and I'll get a chance to get on the kickoff and talk to the big man, because it'd be fun. I actually think we'd get on as well, because he swears just as much as I do, which I haven't seen too many football YouTubers that use the same amount of language that myself and True Geordie do. Not that I'm fucking trying to put us here in the same, on the same level, and obviously I'm just a little ant on the circle of the world, where he's right up there at the top, and deservedly so. He's worked his ass off to get there, and I'm not a hater. I absolutely wish him all the best. But get me on the fucking show, True Geordie. Jesus, come on, man. You can't have double initials on there and not get this bald Irish man on there. Do you know what I mean, True Geordie? If you're watching, Brian, hit me up, man. Watching from Chicago, love the show, said Mark Kiernan. Windy City, mate, thank you. Are you of Irish descent, Mark? Or, am I just taking too much from the name there? But either way, buddy, thank you. Great to have you with us. Ella said, I read somewhere Liverpool are close to signing De Ligt. Don't believe anything until I see the player. I might stay on a little bit later tonight. What do we think? We go longer? We go for a longer stream, because I have what we will call in Ireland a free gaff. My wife and kids are up in Dublin for the night, so it's just little old me, my computer, the TV downstairs, and you wonderful people. So I'm all up for going a little bit longer. Give me a thumbs up if you fancy a longer stream. If you're sick of me, then by all means tell me to fuck off, and we'll end it as normal. Stephen Richards said, fuck off, Craig. I'm the sexiest bald person ever, as in Stephen Richards. And having met Stephen Richards, I can confirm that he is indeed a bald man. So there you go. He's a big fucker that I'm not going to disagree with either, because he would just smash me into a million pieces. So I said to Stephen before, mate, every time I go to Liverpool now, you need to be within 2 yards of me, because, Stephen's my big ball protector because he's a monster of a man, but an absolute gent as well. That rant by the City fan bought on by the players. What do you think? Is this the one, Noel, where he ran into the press box? I mean, he just looked like a tit, didn't he, to be fair? And look, as somebody who's looked like a tit on many occasions myself, I just think that was a move too far, and it just gave more fuel to the fire that we can just poke fun at them and just go, like, absolutely obsessed with Liverpool. Absolutely obsessed. I heard if you get rid of Gomez, we'd buy De Ligt. We're not getting rid of Gomez. Why would we? I mean, we love De Ligt, Gareth Roddy, don't get me wrong, mate, but why would we get rid of Joe Gomez? He's quality. Callum said, finally you read my comment. Gonna keep telling you every day until the final. You've done the right thing there, Callum, mate. People know sometimes to catch my eye with an emoji, and I'm like a moth to a bright light. When I see an emoji, I'm like, ooh, an emoji. Let's read this comment. So there's a little hint, and now watch nothing but fucking emojis for the rest of my life on here. Chris Winders, a Winder, said, I'm off to Madrid, no ticket. Any ideas or good bars? Do you know what, Chris? Dave Henry, one of the guys from our podcast, one of the guys from the channel, he's heading over there as well, and he posted up something on his Twitter account at DHCopy. So go over there and check it out, and he's got some information on, you know, trams and bars, and there's a Liverpool supporters club in Madrid as well, so maybe that could be a good place for you to go and watch. I'm not sure the name of the pub, mate, so again, Dave would know that. So at DHCopy, he'll be able to. I think he has it up on his account, maybe. Rory Bailey, how are you, mate? I'm doing very well, thank you for asking. They need to drop Vin Diesel or The Rock and have Craig's the next Fast and the Furious. Yeah, I'll do that, definitely. I'll definitely do that. I think me and Ludacris will get on rather well, so yeah, I can definitely do the next Fast and the Furious movie. What else we got? Liverpool will sign Werner and De Ligt in this window, so Craig Weston. Yes, loving the thumbs up. There we go. Longer stream. Nice one. This is what happens when the wife's not around. I get to play for longer, do you know? I get some extra screen time. Andre Varanen, the Maharani's closet. Alberto Aquilani, mate. Are you alright, buddy? Naming random shitty old Liverpool players. Just got back from my gallivant in the country, said Claire. Oh, Claire, it looked, I seen the picture. Claire, it was, I don't know, was that your daughter Claire or your niece, or I don't know who it was that you were with, but they were on the train, I think it was, on the way to a beautiful scenic location. Claire put a picture up on her Twitter account. So jealous, Claire. That looked stunning, absolutely stunning, and I'm glad that you're back, and I hope that you enjoyed yourself. Kieran Aaron said, I'd happily sell Gomez if it meant that we got De Ligt. I love Arnold. I think he's already a legend, said Reese. I love Trent as well. As he said, Varanen, Aspas, Carroll and Poulsen. We've had some real duffers at the club. Gomez is our future. De Ligt is a great player, but he's not replacing Joe Gomez. I agree. I don't want Joe to go anywhere, although I'd love De Ligt as well, but I love Joe Gomez. Craig, I'm not sure if you're aware of the firm. Oh, I know they exist, Papandu. I don't follow them on Twitter. I know a lot of people that don't rate what they say, but it's not for me to say because, as I said, I've never had any interactions with them. In mid-January, they announced Timo Werner deal was done, 46 million plus add-ons on a 4-year deal. Well, it hasn't happened yet, mate. So, I mean, even a stopped clock is right twice a day, I suppose is my only answer to that. I hope that the deal is there. I'm not going to give them fucking credit for it, but I hope that the deal is there. Robbie said, hey Craig, how are you? Sorry I'm only staying for 10 or 15 minutes. I've been watching the Eurovision Song Contest. You're the second one tonight, Robbie. Forgot to ask, how are you, said Adam Parks. I'm good, mate. I'm always good. I'm good when I'm on here talking to you wonderful people. Yibber, how are you, mate? Welcome in. Thank you for the super chat. You forgot to put a question in, buddy, or a comment, so please, if you have one, put it in there, and I'll do my best to read it. But wow, thank you again. People being so generous tonight. Mental. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. Right, Robert O'Reilly said, I know it's fantasy and hypothetical. If you were offered Messi for 2 of our front 3, would you do it? No, I wouldn't. We spoke about Mbappe earlier on, and somebody said, would you sell Mane or Salah for Mbappe? And I said, yeah, I would take one of them for Mbappe, but not for Messi. The greatest player of my generation, possibly of all time. But he's on the wane. Do you know what I mean? He's on the... Is Wayne the right word? Wayne? He's on a downward spiral. He's only, what is he, 32 now, is it, Messi? Still, look, don't get me wrong, he's still unfucking believable. But nah, I wouldn't. Not now. 3-4 years ago, I would have crawled over broken glass for Lionel Messi. But right now, I think he's at the right place. I mean, let him finish his career there, or maybe go back to Newell's Old Boys, as somebody suggested yesterday. If we get De Ligt, would that all but seal the title? It depends. I mean, God knows what City are going to do. They've been linked with that guy João Felix. They've been linked with Fernandes. They've been linked with De Ligt themselves. They've been linked with Antoine Griezmann as well this week. So I suppose it does depend, mate, on what other clubs do this window. And will the likes of Spurs, Arsenal, United, Chelsea... Well, I don't know what's going to happen with Chelsea. They have that ban over their heads. Are they going to strengthen and close that gap, perhaps? So as much as I agree with people that say Liverpool don't need too much, you always have to try to improve, don't you? 1 or 2 good signings every single summer is, I think, the way to go when you're at the top level. When Klopp came in, he needed to kind of front load. He needed to buy a lot of players over a couple of windows, and he's done that. And they've settled in and they're doing really well. And now it's just about a little bit of depth, a little bit of tweaking, a little bit of fresh blood to just, make competition as well. Papandu said the firm on Twitter also said Liverpool have put together a £55 million deal for De Ligt, said to be between Liverpool and Barca. Do you know what? Regardless of whether it's true or not, that price, imagine anybody got De Ligt for 55 million, regardless of who it was. Oh, that would be a bargain, an absolute bargain, 55 million. Craig needs to be a real commentator. Can you imagine that though? Imagine me on fucking BBC or something like that in the middle of a game, and then all of a sudden the language starts coming out and the beep 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 beep. Gary Lineker on there saying, I'm very sorry, ladies and gentlemen, about that, but it's it can get emotional on here. I'd be in bits. No, I'd love to do it, but I'd love to do a late night show. I've said this before. I'd love a late night fan football show where people can come on and actually speak their minds and say what they want to say and speak about football in an open and honest way. So, yeah, that would be great. And thank you. People often say to me as well, have I done it before? And this season was the first time I've ever done any commentary on football games and stuff. And I enjoy doing it, but yeah, just thank you for the kind words. Lewis said, Craig, not sure if you know, but Boss Night is coming to Cork next Saturday. I did tag you in a tweet earlier on. I had heard that. I didn't see the tweet, mate. Sorry if I missed that. It's been a really busy day on the Twitter account today. Boss Night are coming to Cork. Yeah, I won't be able to get down, but I'm sure if there's anybody in and around Cork, Waterford, Kerry, that neck of the woods in Ireland, go. It'll be fucking amazing. If Jamie Webster's going to be there as well. The lads at Boss Night put on an unbelievable show. And I'm glad that they're coming over to Ireland. Well done to them. And fair play to them. Yeah, it'd be a great night. I can't make it down, mate, but thank you for tagging me and thinking of me, buddy. I do appreciate that. What else have we got? If De Ligt hasn't signed for Barca before we play in the Champions League final, then I think we've got him, said Neil Anthony. Boss Night is in Dublin's Button Factory on Thursday night, said Dave. There you go. Good stuff. I'm so glad they're over here doing shows. Well done to them. If anybody can get to it as well, I would definitely advise you to go. You've seen all the videos. You've seen how great they are. And they put on a wonderful show and really look after Liverpool fans. So definitely lots of love for the guys at Boss Night. Never met them. They don't know me. I don't know them. But I'm a fan. Like anybody else, looking at what they do, you've got to tip your hat to them and say, just keep doing what you're doing, lads. Craig, you'd be as good as a late night version of 606 on 5 Live. Thank you. I not actually know what 606 is, believe it or not, even though I'm Irish. So, thank you. I've not made no secret though, guys. You know on here. I'm going to keep saying it and the hope that in the future miracles might happen. But my dream and my family's dream is to emigrate to America or to Australia. To do that, of course, we'd have to have work set up over there. And we'd have to have, all the necessary paperwork and medical insurance and all that stuff out there. But that's my dream. So if ever by any miracle somebody's watching this and you want to get me over and you've got something that I could do, please hit me up. I'm open to any suggestions. I've spoken about it before, and let me just get personal for a second if that's okay. I very rarely speak about my own issues on here. it's no secret that I've Asperger's. I've spoken about that before. I don't like to bring this up because people can be very fucking horrible about this type of shit. So, as you guys know, I've had Asperger's, but on top of that, I love being Irish. I'm so proud of being Irish, and I love my country. But the winters here have a massive impact on my mental health. A massive impact. They really drag me down. And it's a struggle. Every winter to get through the winters, it's a struggle. And I'm thankful that I've got a good support system in place, and that I've got a good family, and I've got good doctors, and all of that stuff in place that helps me get through every Irish winter. But it is a struggle. And that's why I've said before, my family's dream is to move to Florida, to Texas, to Australia, to somewhere warm, because I'm a different man in those environments. I'm kind of like the person you're seeing here now in front of you. I'm happier, I'm jollier, I'm more enthusiastic, I'm feeling more confident about life, and I love it. So that's my dream. I've said I've never done any of this for money, and I'd be lying if I came on here and I said that I don't hope that someday somebody sees what I'm doing and thinks, do you know what? He could work for us in something over here, or he could, we could get him towards this, or I might catch somebody's eye, or somebody might hear what I'm talking about, and I might get that lucky break in life. Because I'm not going to lie, this could give me that platform. And it's not about money. I've said that before. I couldn't give a shit about money. It's about my family. I'm wanting the best for my family. And for myself as well at the same time. So yeah, that's my story for those of you that are new in. And that's who I am. And that's where I've come from. And yeah, so again, anybody watching, please do. And AnfieldAgenda@outlook.com. Always hit me up. And yeah, thank you for humouring me there for a few minutes. Ronaldo's coming to Liverpool to win the 6th UEFA Champions League. Ronaldo ain't coming anywhere near Liverpool, to be fair. If De Bruyne stays fit next season, I can't see us beating them. He is a wonderful footballer, Kevin De Bruyne. He really is. Somebody I would have loved at our football club. The Maharani's Closet said, come to South Africa. It's an adventure. I definitely want to visit there on holiday, mate. I've seen pictures of friends who've been there, and what a beautiful country. I know there's issues, but you know what? Every fucking country has issues, buddy. And I always like to look for the beauty in things, and South Africa looks absolutely stunning. Craig Weston said, watched a full match rerun of the wondrous night, the return leg against Barcelona at Anfield, and the lads will run through walls for Jurgen Klopp. I still can't stop watching it myself. I've watched the clips of that game over and over and over, and where Genie falls to his knees, where Jordan Henderson collapses in exhaustion and emotion on the ground, where James Milner is crying. Klopp puts his hands to his head because he can't believe what's going on, and then you cut to the scene in the dressing room afterwards where Trent is on his phone and he's kissing his badge, and Degsy Lovren comes in and starts dancing. I mean, it's a night we're never going to forget as Liverpool fans. Reese said, what's happening, Craig? How's everything going? Good, mate. Very good, thank you, and I hope you're doing well. I saw a bunch of City fans calling you special. Reported them because you've done nothing to them. Look, to be fair, mate, I get abused on social media every fucking single day of my life, because when you put yourself out and you make content, you're out there to be judged, and you're not going to please everybody, and people are going to think you're a dickhead, and people are going to call you whatever. I've been called all types of things. I can take it. That's why I'm still here talking. And I did post on social media about this as well. I've seen a lot of people. We spoke about Claude earlier on in the chat, and I know some other people that have left social media because of trolling and bullying and the impact it's had on their family. And I can take it. It's like water off a duck's back to me. You can call me anything you want on here, and as soon as I turn off this camera, I don't give it a fucking second thought when it's finished, because these people don't know me. I don't care. But everyone isn't the same, and I just wish at some points that people would take a second to think that yes, you've got the anonymity that social media or that the internet provides, and I know people go sometimes for cheap laughs and stuff and try to belittle people, but none of us know what's going on in people's heads, and none of us know how people are feeling or what's going on in people's lives. Sometimes people come onto social media for a release from the rigors of their everyday life, or because of loneliness and they want to talk to people, or for various reasons. Maybe they're housebound, maybe their health isn't well, and for people to feel like it's okay to hide behind accounts and go on there and bully people, even if it is grown men. I mean, we all hurt, we all have issues. it'll never affect me. Nobody's ever getting me off social media through trolling. You can kiss my ass. You should know that about me by now. But everyone's different, and I just want people to just remember, just before you type that one thing, you don't know what people are going through. And I don't like the thoughts of people suffering anywhere and in the world. I don't like the thoughts of people suffering because of trolling online, because people want cheap laughs, or because people want to get likes for something. I've seen too much of it, and you guys have seen too much of it as well. And I've heard horror stories of people, and I've spoken to people via email and private messages who have been through a lot because of trolling and intimidation. Yeah, I think somebody suggested to me before that maybe it's something that should be taught in school these days. You know, online awareness and stuff, and just be careful. We never know what's going on. Even somebody smiling in front of a camera, or somebody looks jovial and fun. You just don't know, guys. You just don't know what's going on. And I've said time and time again, the world needs more love. The world needs more happiness. And I can be a sarky, narky bastard from time to time. You guys have seen me snap at people on here as well. I'm no saint, and I don't claim to be. But I never go hunting people down to troll them. Which, you know, we've seen doxing, we've seen various other things. We've seen people's addresses posted online. We've seen people's fucking pictures of their houses. I've been sent screenshots of people being threatened. Cowards, absolute fucking cowards, a lot of them. I mean, just because you're hiding behind a keyboard and nobody can see your face, show your fucking face. That's the thing. Claude's out there, I'm out there, Mark Goldbridge is out there, even DT's out there, True Geordie, and everybody else that makes content. They put themselves out there. They show their face. We know who these people are. They're not hiding. They're true fucking, I won't say heroes, that's an exaggeration, but they're tough people. To put yourself out there to be judged and allow it, nothing but respect and love to them. So just take a second to think if you're one of these people. Do you know what? Fucking come and have a go at me instead. Rather than, you know, the likes of maybe Claude or somebody else. Come fucking call me a nonce. Call me a ball prick. I don't care. I'll take it and smile and laugh back at you. But just, you know, take a second. I've been contacted by a lot of lovely people in our chat that have said thank you for the streams. Sometimes it can be a little bit lonely, and that's, you know, it means the world to me. And the fact that we can connect to people on here. Use social media for the positive aspects. Use social media for good reasons. We've seen so many lovely stories of kids that got to meet footballers because of social media, or awareness that has been raised about a mistreatment of somebody, or dreams have been made. People have been able to get in contact with footballers, celebrities, and social media has so many positives and so many beautiful, wonderful things. And I just wish it was used more for that purpose, rather than people to feel good about themselves by belittling somebody else, because it kind of just says more about the people that are doing the trolling, and that they're lacking something in their lives, or that they're projecting their own hurt or pain onto somebody else. And I don't even want them to have that hurt or pain. I just want everybody to be fucking happy and share some love in the world and some positivity. And I love each and every one of you motherfuckers on here. Each and every person that comes on here and gives me your time every night and shares your kind words. I know we've got people with mental health issues. I know we've got people with disabilities. I know we've got people who are in a vulnerable situation. And just know that we love you. Everybody in our chat loves you. Even Connor loves you, for fuck's sake. And if that doesn't make you feel better, I don't know what will. But look, thank you for indulging me in this little speech for a few minutes, because there's just been a few things over the last couple of days, you know, that have come up of different people that have left social media, and people that I hold in high esteem as well have walked away from social media because of trolling. And these people give more back to the communities on there in social media than these little shits, these little horrible little fuckers that come on to try and troll them and belittle them. Just, you know, have more positive stuff in your life. It's much easier to be nice to somebody, or to extend a hand of friendship to somebody. And I think you'll find that even the hatred between Liverpool fans, United fans, City fans, even different races, different religions, different people that don't like each other, if we all sit down and have a conversation, we'll always find something that we agree on, or we'll always find something that we can communicate, or we can bind on, or we can have a laugh about. We're not all as different as we think in this world. So there's always some things that we can come together on, and that's what we need to try and do a little bit more of, because life can be fucking tough enough without other people trying to make it worse for you. So if you're out there, just remember you're not alone. And don't listen to whatever people say to you. Unless it's positive, in which case, then take it on board and absolutely believe it. Look, I'll push on. Thank you for indulging me again. I'd rather Phil Jones than sign up to Twitter. I'd rather keep Phil Jones than sign up to Twitter. So them UFC Gamer. Yeah, it can be tough. I'm at the time. A lot of the time I just post and walk away. But then sometimes I do like to interact as well. But it can be tough. So glad to hear some positivity, said Ashley Madden. Thank you, mate. Am I drunk? I've never heard such hippy dippy positivity. I don't drink. Stephen mates on that. I haven't drunk. This is the only liquid, Diet Coke, Diet Chav as I call it, that usually passes my lip. But hey, look, if you think it's hippy dippy stuff, then so be it, mate. I've had my say, as I said. Judge me, take it as you will. More people need to smoke some weed, said Boba Fett. I wish it was legal. That's all I can say on that one. I would certainly be pro-legalisation when it comes to that. That would be my stance on marijuana. Keyboard Warriors may arse, said Craig Weston. Far Wild said, I only really get angry at certain fan bases with their disrespect. Banter is fine and expected and needed, but total disrespect 24/7 365, then it gets tiresome. Seemingly Connor love is better than a Klopp hug. Ooh, I don't know about that, Tom. That's a big fucking statement, mate. Connor's jacket is definitely better than the Klopp hug. Germana said, feck, if Catholics and Protestants here in Belfast can find common ground, anybody can. Exactly, mate. There's usually more stuff that can bring us together than divide us if we actually look at it. And pigeonholing people into just because of their race, because of their sexual orientation, because of their football club they support, or their political beliefs. Nobody should be just judged on one thing and one thing only. Do you know, we're all complex individuals that have different parts, and just because we don't agree on one thing doesn't mean we won't agree on another thing. What else we got? Live, love and let live, said Shabir. Absolutely. It's legal here in Canada and British Columbia. I know, my wife has relatives in Canada and they don't partake, but it's kind of made me think, a little trip over to Canada. And of course we've got our friend Larry Leach and the Calgary LFC supporters club that we want to get over and see. Need to see Klopp hug old big ear, said Aidan Andrews. Damn right, he fucking deserves to lift it as well, doesn't he? Will you watch the Game of Thrones last episode? I can't watch anything like Game of Thrones or anything sci-fi related, Ella, because I've said it before. I watch it and I go, that's not true. How can that happen? My brain just doesn't fucking work like that. I just look at it and go, dragons, flying, fire, fuck off. No, but anyone that does watch Game of Thrones that I know seems to be very pissed off about how it ended. That's all I know about it. I've never seen 1 minute of Game of Thrones. Gavin said, hats off to you, Craig. Only here a few weeks. You can see you're an absolute gent and just an all-round decent bloke. Some people will tell you I'm a prick, mate, but nobody is as bad as people make out. That's it. Sometimes I think people just hear stuff from other people about an individual and assume it to be true. All I've ever asked of anybody about me is just take me as you find me. If I'm not for you, I get you, no problem. We'll shake hands and we'll walk off and we'll do our separate things. If I am for you, then thank you, and it's great to have you with us. Craig Weston said, we're all different, but we're Liverpool, we're a family, we're a tribe of love. Just tuned in, saw one of your videos a few days ago. Keep up the good work, mate. Do what you like and never let some haters keep you down. Good luck in 14 days, my friend. Thank you, Joseph. That's really kind of you, my friend. As I said, I'm alright, mate. It's never me. I don't let trolls get to me. I'm all about love. I'm all about trying to be positive, and I've got a great wife and a great family. As soon as I turn this computer off, my life's filled with love. So I just know some people aren't as fortunate perhaps as I am. Am I going to the Community Shield? Nah, we looked at it, Liverpool 5 times. We thought very strongly about booking the flights tonight to go, but we decided the European away is where we really want to go. So hoping to get to a European away. And actually next season we're hoping to get to Leicester as well, to visit Boya and Lee Chappie. So hoping to get over to the Leicester away game as well. I'm like that watching the Barca game again. Wait, is that real? Yeah, I get you, Barnes. It's weird because there was 2 nights of football there between Liverpool's game against Barcelona and Spurs' game against Ajax, the likes of which we might not see again for a very, very long time. Those 2 Champions League final games were fucking unbelievable. Mad. Hi Craig, left you 2 donations of £10 each. Enjoy. Wow. Yeah, bro, thank you, mate. That's so kind of you, buddy. Thank you so much. And on that, actually, while we're talking about money and donations and stuff like that, just a shout out to remind everybody that for a post-match stream after the Champions League final, it's going to be a charity stream. You guys have suggested to us before, why don't we do a charity stream? Well, we're doing one on, say, the 10 o'clock show, or the post-match show after the Champions League final. The stream is going to be done in aid of Cystic Fibrosis Ireland, with a special mention to Team Mason. Now, Team Mason Mason's a young gentleman that's the same age as my son Lucas, and Mason suffers from cystic fibrosis. He has autism, and he has cystic fibrosis related diabetes as well. And my wife and a wonderful group of, I don't even know, in excess of 20 women go and run the Dublin Ladies Mini Marathon every single year. This year it takes place on the 2nd of June. So with that in mind, and the fact that I love my wife more than anything else on the planet, I said that seems like the perfect thing to do for a charity stream. So for the post-match show, and hopefully we're all on here celebrating Liverpool winning the Champions League, every penny that we make on that show, whether it be from ad revenue, whether it be from super chats, or whatever it is, and of course we'll be posting the link in as well to the I'm not sure if it's a GoFundMe page or if it's to the stream, or to the charity anyway. We'll be posting the link in as well, and every single penny that we make will be going directly to Cystic Fibrosis Ireland. But mainly, if I'm being honest about it, it's because I love my fucking wife, and she does so much for me and so much to support me, that this little thing, if I can do a little thing for her and a damn good fucking cause as well, then so be it. So I hope if you were ever thinking of a super chat, or if you were ever thinking of anything like that, then do it that night. Do it on the post-match show then, because you'll be helping a damn good cause, and you'll be helping me as well, because I want to help my wife and I love my fucking wife. Claire said Scousers invented the hippie movement. Sorry, Scousers invented the hippie movement. We're one except for the blue shite, said Claire. I'll be giving it that stream, said Boba Fett. Thank you, mate. Where am I watching the final from? Here, Liverpool 5 times. Myself, Dave from Dave's LFC Chats there, Connor and Brian are going to do a live watch along in my gaff. So we're going to do a pre-match show, we're going to do a watch along of the final, and we're going to do the post-match charity stream as well. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I'd love to link up with the supporters group in Calgary, said Godfrey Rodriguez. I would love you to link up. Or I would love to link up, he said. Sorry, mate, if you want to, I could definitely make that happen for you, mate. Larry Leach, I don't know if Larry's watching now, but Larry's one of the members of the Calgary Supporters Club. Or on Twitter, OLSC Calgary. But Godfrey, if you want me to put you in touch, mate, just email AnfieldAgenda@outlook.com and I will happily make that introduction for you, sir. You're welcome. He deserves a great channel, said Gibber. Thank you so much, buddy. What's happening about Werner? Where was that bit of news I spoke about earlier on? Where was it? So Ian McGarry, sorry, I had to scroll back through my notes. Ian McGarry, who's a football consultant? I don't know what a fucking consultant does, but it might be like a consultant. So Ian McGarry, who's a football consultant, believes that Liverpool have intensified their efforts to sign Timo Werner, and that over the past couple of weeks we've stepped it up. So again, mate, please do take everything with a pinch of salt, because you don't know what to believe. But yeah, hopefully we can but hope. As I said, I'm going to keep going tonight. Fuck it, let's keep going. It's 12:25. Nobody's in my house. It's just me here. So let's keep pushing on and let's go. We used to do 3-hour streams on here, and people are going to look tonight and go, fucking hell, this lad's on a while, isn't he? But do you know what? While people are still here, why not? We're 19 subscribers away from 15,600. So if you're enjoying the stream, please do hit that subscribe button. You're going to take your top off in the final? Possibly. Never say never. I hope it just stops there though, do you know what I mean? I mean, there's 4 of us. There could be 4 sets of man boobs on the go. Craig, you could be up to 16,000 tomorrow. Will you give us a Ric Flair if you do? Yeah, of course I will, BRANDT. You know I love any excuse to pull out a Ric Flair. Can you read my Gmail? I don't know if you got it. I'll certainly have a look, Scotty. Actually, I don't really check the Gmail one too often, but now that you've mentioned it, mate, I will definitely look. Will the stream be at the same time as the AJ fight? No, that's going to be a bit later, thankfully. Yeah. I think the AJ fight, I know it's in New York and there's a 5-hour time difference, so I think they're going to have the ring walk at about 2 a.m. UK time, maybe something like that, so we should be all finished by then. Claire, or Brian's a consistent. There you go, mate. You're a consistent pain in my ass, Brian, mate. That's what you are. 15.6k tonight, said Fletcher. I don't think there's enough people in the chat, mate, to get us up to the 19 subs that we need, but do you know what? We'll just keep pushing on and doing, having some fun. May want to change that countdown. Why? It's right. Why would I change it, mate? It's spot on. I'm going to just count now. I'm just going to get my phone out and actually check the calendar just to make sure that I'm right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 days, mate. It's right. So no need to change it yet. It's not midnight. Craig, I'll get mine out if you get yours out. Deal, Stephen. Deal, mate. Alex said Julian Brandt would stay in Bayern longer if they made the Champions League. That's what I heard. And they made it. Yep, we did speak about that a little bit earlier on in the stream, mate. That the £21 million buyout clause that was in his contract was only would only come into effect if Leverkusen didn't make the Champions League, and they have made the Champions League, so he may well stay, as you've said. Farwell said, I'm a consistent pain in the ass. Mate, you are anything but a pain in the ass. You're a gentleman. It's Saturday night and I like the way you move. Divacarigi. Go on, Pop Andy. Good man. I will check it, Scotty. Don't worry, mate. As soon as the stream's finished, I'll check the Gmail. It's midnight for me. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, I was thinking that was the case, mate. I was thinking maybe you're in mainland Europe and you're an hour ahead of us. I drink orange juice. It's nice and tasty. Come on, gives me heartburn, so I can't drink it. Ziyech will be the dream, more suitable than Werner for our system, said Alex. Yeah, I know a lot of Reds really want Ziyech. I'm just going to have to wait and see. Unfortunately, I'd be lying if I said I know anything. Done that one. I'm just running through all my notes to make sure I haven't forgotten about anything. No, I've actually gone through all my notes. Nice one. So look, the chat's quieting down, so if you've got any comments right now's the time to get it in, because we can definitely get through them. Love you, Craig. Thank you, J Dent, mate. Love you too. Since I'm watching the Champions League alone with my pets, Peter told me it's animal abuse if I get my tits out. Mate, Peter don't half talk a load of tosh anyway. I actually seen Joe Rogan said once that there was a video and somebody was kicking a robot or something in the video, and Peter had to go with them saying that robots shouldn't be kicked. It just seems fucking strange to me. Barnes, good night to you, buddy. Always a pleasure to have you in. Werner could play the Firmino role, said Craig Weston. He could, absolutely. Could allow Bobby to play a little bit deeper as well, and it can give us options. And let's not forget that, if I'm correct on this, Werner did start his career as a wide player, I think. Where's the Diet-Chav, Stevie? Come on. Always here. Don't ever doubt me, mate. I never walk anywhere without a can of Diet-Chav or Diet Coke, somewhere within reach. Sorry, was revising from a university exam. What was the Timo news? I think you've probably just heard it, I hope, buddy, because I just went through it a second ago. Cape Town Muslims in the house. How are you, sir? Just joined. We going late tonight? Yep, I am. I'm on my own. No family around tonight, so we'll go a few more minutes just for the hoo-ha of it all. Am I disappointed about Lloyd Kelly going to Bournemouth? Not really. Not really. Nah. I mean, I don't know if we were really pushing hard for him, but Bournemouth's a good club for a young and up-and-coming player to go to. He will get game time there, and Eddie Howe's a good coach. Nah, I'm never disappointed. If things are meant to be, Mark, mate, they're meant to be. And Jurgen Klopp might have other plans for a backup left-back. Maybe Adam Lewis, as we said earlier on. Who would you like to sign for Liverpool? Fekir, Werner, Brandt, De Ligt, obviously. Bum, 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 bum. I like Dybala, but I know a lot of people don't think he's as good as I seem to think he is in my head. Um, Ziyech, I've been one that's been on the fence on, but I've said always, if Jurgen Klopp wants him, then who the hell am I to second guess it? But for me, I'd love the Fekir thing to just come to fruition and happen. I'd love for last season to have been a misunderstanding, and it'd been nothing to do with his knee, and it was an argument over money that they couldn't sort out. But yeah, I'd like Fekir. Robots kick Cretes in cave. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's something that I just, I'm not copping onto. Claire said, Craig, what's the latest on Lallana? I heard you talking about him as I came in. It seems, Claire, that, again, let me just get my notes because I want to make sure I get this right. Yeah, so there's some articles saying that at 31 years of age, Claire, Lallana feels like he wants more game time, and there's been a couple of people suggesting that he might move back to Southampton, and the figure being mentioned was £13 million, which I did ask the people in our chat what they thought about that figure, and they seem to agree and say 20 million is probably a more realistic number for Adam Lallana. But as always with a player, and whether that be Nathaniel Klein or whether that be Simon Mignolet, if a player wants more game time, I'd never hold that against anybody. Footballers want to play football. Their careers are relatively short, and if Lallana wants more game time, then I'm sure Jurgen Klopp will, allow him to leave, and he would leave certainly with my best wishes. And my memories of Adam Lallana were that when Jurgen Klopp came to the club, he was vital in the press. He was a fantastic cog in our system, and I just think we've progressed on, and his injuries have started to mount up, and I think we've moved a little bit past Adam Lallana in terms of where we are ability wise now. But nothing but love for him if he does move on. Domestic abuse should be stopped, said Louis O'Carroll. 100%, my friend. I absolutely agree with that one. That's a great signing for Bournemouth, said Gonads. Just grab João Felix. He can play in either wing, 10 or a forward. He can finish, and a great investment, said John Hamilton. Didn't we, or wasn't it put out there that we put a £60 million bid in for him in the winter transfer window, and it was turned down, and now it looks like 120 million is the number that will get him out of Benfica. When we played Manchester City, we were 11 millimetres off winning the league when we nearly scored. Yeah, well, they won the league, to be fair. Football sometimes can be about small margins, can't it? And it didn't go our way. Nothing else really to say on that one. Is it possible Kelly's agent hinted at LFC being interested to get Eddie Howe to get the deal done? I don't know, Farah, because our interest in Lloyd Kelly went back as far as the last window, so I don't know if that's the case. And it wouldn't be unusual. I mean, football clubs and agents do that all the time. But I do think there was a genuine interest from us to some extent, because we were talking about last January, that far back. Kev's in. Kev Roy, how are you, buddy? Better late than ever. As you said, welcome in. Big man Steve said, I was more disappointed when Lloyd Kelly went to Bournemouth than I was when Pulisic went to Chelsea. I wasn't. I was much, much more fucking upset when Pulisic went to Chelsea, because I was almost like a one-man Christian Pulisic propaganda machine on here. But look, he's a Chelsea player now, and best of luck with that. Craig, do a shout out for my daughter, please. Chloe. She always wonders why I watch a bald guy talking about footy in English. Chloe, you've got a wonderful mother, and welcome and hello, and I hope you had a wonderful trip with your mum. It looked absolutely beautiful where you were. Have a lovely summer, Chloe, and thank you. Just know we're going to win the league 3 years running from here, said Cape Town Muslim. Hello everybody, said Kev Roy. Matt Doherty is back up to Trent, said Joe Smith. He knows where the goal is from a set piece, doesn't he, Matt Doherty? I mean, how many times has he scored from corners and stuff this year? Danny Ings gone now? Yeah, that was a loan to buy, wasn't it? 20 million, if memory serves me correct. Stephen Richards, that deal at Southampton, and look, they'd be foolish not to trigger that, because Danny Ings has been quality for them. Game times, give him minutes, and injury and playing times. Liverpool Football Club. I have negative thinking about Man United losing to City, but when they lose against Cardiff, my negative thinking is gone, said EF. Claire said Lallana needs to get himself some more game time and get fit. I love Lallana, but come on. Do you think Pep is better than Klopp? No. Two absolutely fantastic managers. And And I'm not going to say anything negative about Pep Guardiola as a footballing man, because he's an excellent manager. Nobody could deny that. People will throw the accusation at him that he can only manage superstars. Well, I really don't care. I think Pep Guardiola is a tremendous coach, but Jurgen Klopp is our fucking man. And to me, Jurgen Klopp, sometimes he's just about the right man for the right club. And Jurgen Klopp is perfect for Liverpool Football Club, and that's all that I really care about, because he's our manager and I wouldn't want anybody else. Uar is better than Coutinho, said Alpha. Somebody always gets me to say that lad's name every single night, and I sound like an absolute gobshite trying to pronounce it. Eric said, absolutely agree. Well, Lallana wants to leave, best of luck to him. He's been a happy part of the squad. I would definitely keep him. Did you see Man City trophy parade? Seen a better atmosphere at the funeral? Said Louis. Nah, didn't watch. We didn't watch that part of it, to be fair, Louis. I watched the game, alright, but after that, I couldn't really care about City lifting the trophy. 23 loan and bench players, 10 to 15 players out, I think you meant to say, Eric. Zootopia said, when we win the Champions League, top players will beg Jurgen Klopp to join Liverpool. Literally beg. In Jurgen Klopp, we trust 100%, mate. I can't disagree with anything you've said there. I mean, players should be begging to join Liverpool now, even before we win it, because we're a club that's going in the right direction and we're only going to get better from here. Louis, how are you, buddy? Welcome in. Dave said, gotta go, Craig. Talk to you soon, Dave, mate. Best of regards to the family as well. First ever question, seemed like a really nice guy. Do you rate Junior at Real Madrid as a backup for Mane? Firstly, Daniel, thank you for the question, mate, and welcome. I know you probably watched before, but it's your first question. The little bits I've seen of Vinicius Junior, he seems to have undoubtable quality. Or I don't know, would the Premier League be his league? That's what I doubt. I'd rather have Mane, to be fair, than him, and I don't think that any of our front three are going to go anywhere, Daniel. But he is. I'm always dubious when it comes to young Brazilian players, because how many times have we heard players be hyped as the next whoever, the next Kaká, the next anybody, the next fucking any Brazilian. Like, I mean, I'm thinking about the likes of Robinho here. I'm thinking about even Gabriel Jesus. I mean, as good as they are, they're not maybe what we'd expected them to be. And I'm trying to think of somebody else. There was one more name going around a few years ago. Ganzo. Was that his name? Ganzo? Do you remember that guy? He was like rumoured to be the next Kaká, and sometimes they just don't follow through. He does seem like a very good player, but for me, I'd have Mane. But you're asking as backup for Mane, so no, I don't think he'd be a Premier League type of player. He seems like more of a Spanish, Italian league. If Wolves sell Doherty, Bows get a percentage off the deal, said Ella. Nice. I always like to hear of Irish club getting a few million quid in deals. Lucas Paqueta might be a good option if Milan don't make it in the Champions League. Can play attacking midfield and left wing. He's injured right now. Again, he was very highly thought of, or very closely linked to us at one point before that deal, that Milan deal. I haven't seen much of him, to be honest, in recent times. As you said, he's injured now. I didn't even know that, Alex, so thank you. Paul Turner's in. How are you, Paul? 17 subscribers, guys, away from 15.6. So if 17 people are watching, please do hit that button and drop a like on the stream as well. Do you know what's really funny, actually? Every single night when I finish the stream and I clear up afterwards, and then I go down, I come back to check the stream and see what the numbers are. There's always 7, 8 or 9 dislikes every night, roughly in and around the same number, and I always think it must be just the same people every fucking night, because it's so similar in numbers. It's funny. If people are actually that petty, then God, I really do sympathise with them. You're still sexy as fuck, said Callum. Thank you, mate. I'll take it. Vinicius is a great talent, but a terrible finisher, said Alex. When we win the Champions League, give everybody long-term contracts, said Wasim. Craig Weston says 2 from Werner, Ziyech, Brandt and Fekir. If it's a question and I have to answer for 2, then I will have Fekir and Werner. My father-in-law is a Bows legend, said Dave. There you go. Brian Morrissey said Mignolet, Klein, Lallana, Lovren, mainly ex-Southampton players that are no longer our level but are worth 15 to 25 million each. Ganzo. Yeah, that was the guy's name. Do you remember him? He was like touted about as being an absolute superstar in the making, and he's gone quite quiet. I don't even know where he was at Sevilla, I think, at one point. I don't know where he is now. Thoughts on Robin and Ribery goals today? I didn't watch the Bundesliga today, Dorian, mate. Sorry. They're both leaving, aren't they? Now, actually. They're leaving Bayern Munich after tremendous service to the club. But I didn't see the goals, buddy. I didn't see any of the games today. Moreno for the Ballon d'Or, said James Kirkman. God, can you imagine that happening? Can you imagine that? Just for bants, like somebody just said all the lads that do the voting got locked one night and just said, oh, give Albi Moreno the Ballon d'Or. Watch Cristiano Ronaldo's head fall off. Your best stream was the semi-final. Oh yeah, that was nuts, mate. That was fucking nuts. The semi-final. I'm never gonna forget that, and I'll probably never get that emotional again on a stream until we win the Premier League. But that was absolutely nuts. What else have we got? I love the goal celebration against Barca at 3-0, said Charlie. Thank you, buddy. I got absolutely slaughtered for that by some people, but I don't care. It was just joy. I like everybody else celebrating the goals, and I know it's not for everybody and people think it's cheesy, but I don't care. It's fun and I enjoyed it and I'd do it again. I just hope I don't go one step further now, because anything further than that you're probably looking at a ban from YouTube. I think he's at Stade Rennais or Ron, or whichever way you pronounce that, which is some drop, isn't it? Big Man Steve, from the massive hyped player that he was spoken about being. I can't see the Pool not winning the league in the next 2 or 3 years, said Germanis. I think it has to happen, mate. I think you're right. So close this year, but hey, close doesn't mean jack shit. It's about getting over the line, and I think what you've said is true. We're not going anywhere anytime soon, and we're going to be putting pressure on Manchester City and any other club. Fekir will be cheaper, 1 year left on his contract. Think we're going back in from 45 to 54 million, said Seamus Smith. I'd love it, Seamus, mate. Very passionate Ribery goals. I was watching thinking that's a real club of fans. History well deserved, said Alex AB. Semi-legend, Craig, said Eric Worry. I was worried when I read the word semi there, to be fair, Eric, and then my name after it. I was thinking, where is he going with this? Entered your giveaway, said Louis. Oh yes, thank you, mate. I would have forgotten all about that. We're giving away another shirt, guys. So what we've done is we've decided that we're going to give away your choice of either the new home shirt or the new goalkeeper's home shirt, to be in with a chance to win that. And you can have either a name and number on the back of it, or you can get the badges. Maybe it'll be a Champions League badge at number 6, maybe Premier League badges, whatever you want. We're running that via our Twitter account, so go over there and you'll see the tweet. All you have to do is retweet the tweet, follow us on Twitter, and make sure you're following us on here or subscribed on here, which, you know, if you're on here you probably are. And we're going to give that away in that charity stream in the post-match after the Champions League final. So again, this one isn't sponsored by anybody. This is just us buying the shirt, and we're going to get it, you know, sent out to you guys. So best of luck, and why not enter? It's another chance to win something for free. And there's also another competition on our Twitter page. Our friends at All Star Signings have given us I said they've given it to us. We're running a competition in conjunction with them where they're giving away a signed Robbie Fowler picture, and the picture is of the 2001 Europa League, or well, not Europa at the time. What was it called before the Europa? Fucking hell, not the Europa League, the UEFA Cup, sorry. Yeah, the 2001 UEFA Cup final, signed by Robbie Fowler. And again, thank you to our friends at All Star Signings for that one. So check out the Twitter account. Excellent, the Wilder fight is on telly here for free. I'm not that I paid to watch that crap, said Claire. I'm going to watch that as well tonight. Why not? It'll be interesting to see how far Dominic Breazeale has come on since his loss to AJ. So yeah, it's an interesting fight. Deontay Wilder has come in £11, I think, heavier than his last fight, so just over the 16 stone mark, I think. Close only counts for horseshoes and hand grenades, said Boba Fett. 6-0 shows how much of a joke the league has become, said Brian Morrissey. Likely transfers Fekir, Brandt and Werner. DT blocked me for fuck's sake. How am I going to miss this tweet, said Louis. You're not missing too much, mate, to be fair. I don't follow the lad either. I don't know if he's blocked us because I've never actually checked. Big Man Steve said, I lied, Ganzo was at Fluminense. You didn't lie, mate. You were just wrong, and it happens to the best of us, but thank you for letting me know. Jamie Carragher supports Liverpool bringing back Felipe Coutinho. Yep, we spoke about that one earlier on. He did say if Barca were willing to do business at a reasonable amount that he'd take him back. Are Anfield showing the Champions League final on the big screens? No. To take that concert, as you said, I think is stopping that. From what I believe, the M&S Bank Arena, which was the Echo Arena, are showing the final, are going to be hosting a screening of the final. I just want to transfer at this point, says Will. Look, ladies and gents, I'm going to call it a night there. We're just on the 2 hour mark, which is our longest stream we've done in a good while. So thank you to everyone that joined. And just a reminder that there'll be no late night stream on Monday because we're going to be down in Connor's house filming a live podcast for you guys. So that will be pre-recorded, so that will be going up probably Wednesday, but we'll be back tomorrow for another late night agenda. We'll be back on, well, that is Sunday. We'll be back on Tuesday, Wednesday, and of course our build up then. Expressions is going to come on the, I think it's Wednesday the 29th of May. Expressions is going to come on for a preview of the Champions League final, so it'll be great to get a Spurs fan's perspective. And look, it's always good to catch up with Expressions because, you know, he's an absolute gent. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for humouring me tonight. Thank you for coming in and joining me. Thank you for all of your comments, and of course, thank you to all the kind people that send super chats our way. Take care of your families, tell your loved ones that you love them, and up the motherfucking Reds.